Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Ring and Play Podcast. My name is Sean Michael Commander. I'm joined by two of my good friends. To my right sits Brad Crabley Crab, and also to my left sits Nick P.
I'm like across from you at
This is
this
very
point
true. Across from
in our
me,
lives.
to the other side, is producer Ethan off screen. You can't see him.
He's still looking fly.
He is looking fly.
You guys
Welcome
almost
to
match.
Episode 60, I believe.
9 more.
Is that 2 weeks in a row where you've gotten it right?
Damn.
We're starting a streak. This is impressive.
9 more. Nick is right. 9 more.
9 more.
Nice.
Is that when we're cutting it?
Nice.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's when it's gonna be nice.
That's like podcast goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Anyways,
Lamau.
this is a show thing that we do. So.
Our second episode of live recording,
Yeah.
And
our most loyal follower and viewer,
Crunch the Robot.
Cronge.
Art to you. Wow. Don't be rude to him.
What? I said Cronge,
Oh. Okay.
not Cronge. Cronge.
Okay.
Dude, Matthew's my boy. He's a beast. But
We
seriously,
got-
you should be doing your work, Matthew. Stop watching us and go to work.
True.
Nah, keep
do
watching
your
us.
job.
Just keep watching us.
We can see chat today for whoever's watching.
Yep.
We've got this little screen here in which.
Can you read that screen, Brad?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good.
Can you read it?
I got my
Oh,
own.
you got your phone. Okay.
I got my own.
Well, we got stuff. We're still figuring stuff out. I got a drink. I got a snack. You might see me munching on some stuff. So
Tried the McDonald's donuts.
We did.
I haven't not yet. I'm going to.
They're pretty good.
Which one did you have?
Boston cream.
Which one did you have?
The sprinkle.
All right.
I don't think Ethan's gonna have one because he brushed his teeth. So did I, but it's like a half bucket.
donut overpowering the
Yeah,
the
I
minty
wanted to
freshness of
try.
the toothpaste.
I was like, they're good for fast food donuts. I mean, like, they're fast food donuts.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to like a donut shop or something and getting them freshly.
There's one in Ajax called Hollywood Donuts or something like that. And I'm like, has great donuts. Not like the fancy ones, just like regular donuts. I was like, yes.
Like just like the plain, like simple,
yeah.
like Timothy, or is it Timothy, or what was the place at CNE that always had the fresh donuts? Tiny Tom's, that's what it was. Thank
No,
you, Ethan.
it was no like actual like donuts, but not like the gourmet donut style.
Okay, just kind of like glazed or
Yeah,
plain or
glazed,
stuff.
stuff like that.
Gourmet donut. Don't make me laugh.
Gourmet donuts are
Gourmet
delicious.
donuts are a thing.
They're
Do they have, like, a
delicious.
whole
You're gonna
bunch of,
make me
like-
laugh. Don't
Wait,
do it.
why?
You know what? The last hockey Christmas, I don't know if I told you guys, but the last hockey Christmas when we go pick up the pies and cakes from the bakery,
Yeah.
the guy ahead of me, Philly, got his order, but it was the wrong order, so he wasn't gonna take it. So I asked the cashier like, how much would it cost me to take those donuts off
I
your
remember
hand?
this.
It's like would have been like half the price because it's like the wrong order. I have to get rid of it. It's still like $200, something like that. Or
How
no,
many donuts was it?
no, it was 100 something. It was like
That had to have been like over 100 donuts.
no, it was like 40 something donuts.
$100?
Dude, the donuts are like
Like super fancy
they're
crap?
fucking fancy.
This time, can we do like, I don't know, like basketball Christmas or like hockey Hanukkah, or can we like just mix it up a little bit, like the sport or the holiday?
How would hockey Hanukkah differ from hockey Christmas? We just have like 7 candles.
Well, the
will.
alliteration and that.
Only we have to watch 7 games.
Oh god.
True.
Well, the Leafs are good this year, so it's not as bad.
Are they good this year?
Yeah,
They
they'll be
better
good.
be.
I hope they win the cup with Mitch Marner.
I don't. I hope Mitch Marner
That would be-
signs.
That would be the best. It's like, oh, you don't want to sign?
Do you really?
sign.
Do you really
It's-
want the Leafs to win the cup?
Well, yeah, both up
Dude,
Mitch Marner. So I think
there
it'd
might be a
I'd be
death in the city.
hilarious.
Why was that a question?
People might die.
There might
Probably,
be a
but I
death.
mean,
What?
worse.
There might be a death.
At the parade?
No, just like somewhere in the city.
Someone
when
has
the-
like a heart attack because it finally happened.
or that,
That's
or
a good way to go.
or like, are we as crazy as Vancouver? You think here? Are we gonna like start busting up our downtown core?
I want to say no,
Yeah, but
I
that
can't
was
speak
that
for
was
everyone.
planned by actual rioters.
Yeah.
True. True.
So, yeah, I hope the Leafs win the cup with Mitch Marner because I'd just be like the nail in the coffin and be like, you not what was the word, you selfish prick.
He left, right?
No, he hasn't
No.
signed.
This isn't signed
Oh,
yet.
okay.
He wants like
He wants Matthews' money, but he's
he
not.
wants like
Matthews.
18,000 years at $40 billion. I'm like, nah, bro.
True.
Something like that.
Go play for half a mil in Switzerland. See how fun that is.
Damn.
He'll sign. I have faith. I don't know why I have faith, but I do.
So,
wanna move on to games.
I guess
in
we talk about
typical
video games,
fashion.
yeah.
I feel like this is just kind of what we do now.
Yeah, it's
Every
a good way to
episode
start,
we'll
I
rant
think.
something
It's-
that's not games, and
It's
then
our
we'll-
show.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Do what we want.
I want to start today
Go for it.
because freaking huge game came out that Nick and I have been playing. Gears 5.
Super Kirby Clash.
Oh,
What?
God.
That was called?
Accurate, but not that game. Gears 5 came out for early, not early access. What would you call it?
Early access to Ultimate Pass.
Would it be called early access?
Yeah.
Because I feel like early access
The
is now
game,
used
the
as
game
like,
fully released like today.
yeah, but like early access in the last couple of years has been like getting
Wait,
like an alpha.
you guys were
build of a
playing it
game.
before everyone else?
So it's like if you pre-ordered the game, the Ultimate Edition, or if you have Ultimate Game Pass, you got it on the evening of the 5th.
September 6th, wasn't
It
it?
was 5th at 9 p.m.
Okay, same thing.
Almost 6th. And then the official release date is the 10th or the 9th at 9 p.m. I don't
So
know
you
why.
did get it before.
So we got it
everyone else.
early, yeah. Essentially, I guess early access. The servers did not work too well for the first like 3 or 4 days for a lot of people. I'm thankful that I didn't run into very many issues, but a lot of people were having trouble getting into the game. They were getting stuck in checkpoints in the campaign and crap like that. As with pretty much every game, it seems to be an issue with servers not being able to handle the influx of players. I don't know what goes
Tisk,
behind
tisk.
it, so I can't like judge them, but you'd think that we'd have this figured
I
out by
can.
now.
I don't know anything either, but I'm.
But you're still gonna judge?
Yep.
I respect that.
100%.
But aside from like the server crap that is gonna get ironed out, and for the most part already has, the game. Oh my god, the game is so good.
2 out of 10, you think?
Probably 2.5.
Fair.
No, game
5 out of 7.
visual, yes, perfect 5 out of 7. Visually is amazing. The PC port runs so freaking well. It's beautiful. Even on a a dated rig like mine, I can run things like high and ultra, 90
What does that make my
FPS.
rig if you call your rig dated?
Your rig
Ancient.
is
Ancient.
prehistoric,
Yeah.
fossilized.
I have the same motherboard for like 10 years now.
You have an updated video card though, right?
Yeah, I got
You
it.
got the 1060.
Yeah, that
So at least you're like
they gave me. So.
you're kind of you got one part that's helping you stay relevant,
True,
but
true.
everything else. But yeah, the campaign, they probably most ambitious Gears, would you say, Nick, in terms of what they did with
Whoa.
campaign?
Whoa.
Yeah,
They added 2 areas, 2 acts are
and most decisive.
semi, I guess, open world in the sense where you get this new vehicle called the Skiff, which is basically like a sail. You have a sail, there's like the vehicle in the front, and then you're on the back on like a board.
Is it
And the sail.
tires?
Treads.
They
Or
have
like
a
just like snowmobile like tracks or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And then you're on the back on like a board and you guide the sail, and it basically just pulls you and the person who's on like the front cargo part of it. And you get this in both Act 2 and 3, one in a desert area, one in a snow area, and you progress through the story and you do missions, but you have this open world section that you get to go to different sites, do side missions, explore certain areas to unlock abilities for your character, and then you can also do the missions. And every time you enter a mission area, it then becomes like locked, like you can't go back to the open world until you finish the mission. So that's why I kind of said semi. But we've never had that much freedom in a Gears game before, and it was pretty cool. I think they nailed that pretty well. It felt good to be able to just go around, especially with how fun the new vehicle is, and just explore. And with the way the new mechanic they had in the game, you have your buddy Jack, the robot, which you've had in all the Gears games. But in this one, you can actually upgrade him and find like spare parts. And if you do side missions, you get rewarded like a piece. So each side mission is usually like 3. There's like 3 objectives, and if you finish all 3, you get an upgrade to one of his abilities that's like really strong. So for example, there's an ability you can get that's camouflage, and for a limited time, Jack will make you and your allies invisible. And if you do this certain side mission and find all the hidden pieces for that side mission, then you get the ability to use the camouflage, but you can still shoot, because normally if you shoot, you pull out camo. But in this one, you could literally walk up to like 10 enemies. You're standing there pumping this guy with bullets. All of his buddies are watching. Nobody shoots you until your camo
It's
runs
so
out.
great.
It's busted, but it's so much fun. So they've kind of had like a bit of like exploration to find these abilities. You don't have to do them. You can bypass them and just go straight through the story missions, but why not explore? Yeah. So that was a really cool addition. Again, like I mentioned, they added Jack, and upgrading him, which has never really been done in Gears, and having these like active abilities. It's always just been a grounded cover shooter. So it makes the you're not just like, well, go to the next section, stand in cover, shoot your enemies, clear. You have a lot more to play with in each fight. It makes a lot more variety. Still feels like a Gears game at its heart. It goes a lot deeper into the lore and the origin of the Locust. I don't want to say any more than that without spoiling, but for people who liked what they did in Gears 2, when they delved into the lore and you got to go to the factory and find sires and stuff like that.
New
and,
Hope,
yeah,
for those that
you
don't
want,
know.
You want to learn more?
Like
Gears 5 doubles down on that. You should. They're really good.
The trilogy.
So you get like way more in that, which is awesome, because that's always been like a question people have wondered. Like we learned a little bit, but we didn't get everything. So this one gives you a lot more. And then a really action paced ending to the game. Only gripe was one decision that they did at the end, but I won't obviously say it because
spoilers. Okay.
Big spoilers. But they're like, they just made one decision storytelling wise that I wasn't a fan of. But other than that, this up there with one of the best Gears campaigns for sure. I loved it. Following Kate and watching all the shit she goes through. Great, amazing performance from Laura Bailey too.
Can you tell it's her, Nick? Can you tell it's her?
That's who.
That it's Laura Bailey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like I'm just wondering, like how the voice acting comes across.
The multiplayer, I've played it for the last couple of days. Feels just like Gears. You got your Nasher. It's usually going to dominate unless you play arcade mode, which becomes a camping Lancer fest because you don't have Nashers.
How was competitive? Have you played any?
I played one match. A lot of people on Reddit have been saying that it's a camp fest with the Lancers because people are saying the Lancers seem pretty
competitive
strong.
Is always slow.
But yeah, competitive slower. The game I played had a lot of Nasher usage still, but I might have just been playing with like a lower group. It was my placement match, so maybe once I play more games and find out where I fit in the skill range. If I'm higher, maybe it becomes more campy. Whereas the low people just run around with shotguns.
You want to do me a favor?
Mm.
Play a couple games.
I will, because
Let me
there's a
know
certain
how it
game
goes.
mode that's only in comp.
Mm.
It was the one that we talked about, Nick and I playing, where you
That's-
can like lock
oh,
weapons and stuff.
That's only comp.
That's only comp.
Why is only?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not in the quick play playlist. So that's a game mode I want to play. So I will for sure be playing comp.
Do that today.
I'm down.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. Then obviously Horde's back. Ton of fun as always. They changed it from 4 a little bit. You still have your roles, but they let everyone pick up power, whereas in Gears 4 only the scouts could, so they gave you a bit more freedom. Same, it's Horde. It's like they didn't change too much. They just tweaked a bit of the classes. Each character has their own ultimate abilities now, which is
That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me about the Horde is that each class kind of has like your role. You have like your tank, you've got your damage dealer, you've got your scout who can run around the map faster and gets more power than the other classes, and then you've got your engineer who's going to be the guy who's building, right?
Building, yeah.
So
What
at its
happens if you have
core,
an imbalanced team? What happens if you're all scouts or something?
you're not going to win. You need an
Oh, yeah?
engineer. And that's, I don't have a problem with needing an engineer, but the problem is like, so I was playing Marcus Phoenix for one of my Horde playthroughs, and he's a tank. So the only things he can build out of the fabricator, which is a machine to build all your defenses, is barricades and decoys, which are just like a person
Sure.
that people shoot at. That's not actually a fighter in the game. Whereas if you're the engineer, you can build literally everything. You can build turrets. You can build weapon storage units. You can build the stun turrets. You can upgrade all of the stuff. So it still felt that every class still was just kind of like slave to the engineer, because the engineer's the only one who can upgrade. The engineer's the only one who can build everything. I don't think any other class can build turrets. Like only the engineer can.
Are his weapons weaker or anything, or he does?
They have different weapons.
Is he squishier? I don't know.
Like Marcus, who's a tank, starts with a Lancer and Nasher. Dell, who's the engineer, or one of them, has the Enforcer, which is the SMG, and the Overkill, which is another type of shotgun. A thing you can do with the DPS with like Marcus's class is you can put money into upgrading like your stats. So you can upgrade how much damage you can do. You can upgrade your health. You can upgrade ammo regen. You can upgrade how fast your ability comes up, your ultimate ability. So there are like different opportunities for you to branch in, but the game still is so important, like balanced around your fortifications, that a lot of people have been like looking at the stats and how much you get for increasing these perks, and it's still just not beneficial to be investing. You're much better at just giving your money over to the engineer to build up your fortifications.
Oh, that sucks.
And like I don't mind that as a thing, but I just wish that what my
You
ideal
want more
thing,
agency, basically.
yeah, I wish that everyone could build anything and maybe leave it up to the engineer to upgrade. So maybe he's only so you can build level 1 of everything, and maybe only the engineer can upgrade or something, just so that you don't feel like you're literally just kind of there just to give him money, especially if you're playing with randoms, you're not communicating as well. Like if you have an idea of how you want to spend the money, well, I mean, you can pick up what the engineer puts down and remove it, but it's really up to the engineer to decide where things are gonna, like what's gonna get made, right? So in that regards, I wish there was a little more freedom, but it's still a ton of fun. And then they added the new mode Escape, which is like a 3-person cooperative mode where you let yourself get captured by the swarm, and then you get taken into their hive, and then you break out of like the little pod that they lock you in, and you deposit this like gas bomb into the ground, and it's got 60 seconds, and you got to start running out, going through enemies with very limited ammo. And I mean very limited. Like you're picking up a gun from every enemy you kill. You half the time you're mailing because you have no ammo. And then you got to try and get out before the venom creeps up and kills you, and you're destroying the hive. Nick and I were actually playing it this morning. It's a lot of fun, but goddamn, if you up like, because there's like 7 different modifiers to make it harder, and holy crap, it can get freaking like ridiculously hard. Like you get one shotted, you get one tapped from melees, you have like 5 bullets every time you pick up a new gun. But it's a lot of fun. So overall, the package for this game, like if I had to give it a rating right now, easily 9 out of 10. Like they did a fantastic job with it. So it's been a lot of fun.
How was the Escape compared to what you guys did at Fan Expo?
I mean, like we didn't have Robert screwing it up and changing the screen
And
to one
making
screen.
it one player.
Yeah, so that was great.
Wait, what?
Because
I
his
wasn't
settings
there
were
for that.
set to inverted because the person who played before was
Sure.
inverted. And somehow when Robert was in the menu trying to change it to normal, he like made it like one player, so he kicked both Nick and I out, and it was just a big screen of just his character, still inverted
He
controls.
somehow
True.
missed the inverted controls on the first screen and went
Nice.
down to video settings. I don't know how. This
Nice.
is Robert we're talking
Yeah.
about.
I don't know why he was in video settings for changing controls, but no, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely the one thing I will say about Horde and Escape is I feel like they're a lot better game modes if you're communicating, which is a given, right? So
Yeah.
if you, like you can go into like beginner or intermediate with randoms, and it's like nobody needs to really be on the same page. Like you guys can just do your own thing as long as you know what the objective is at the end game. Like you can get through it. But for the harder difficulty stuff, especially in Horde, where it's all about communicating for what you're building, so you can talk to your engineer and be like, "Yo, we need this," or "Let's do this," especially because you rely on him so much. Or if it's Escape and you need to like get through because you don't have the ammo to kill the enemy, so you have to like pick a path that all three of you guys will commit to, so you don't get killed randomly by yourself. They do benefit from communication, so I hope that this guy continues playing Gears, and I hope that other people get it, so I have friends to play with, and I'm not
Well,
stuck
I have
having to LFG.
my ultimate pass till June 6th, 2020.
How long did it take you to download it?
Me?
2 minutes.
Like 10 minutes.
So can I bring my
60
PC to your
gigs.
house? Like, serious question. Can I bring your PC to your house?
60 gigs won't take you that long.
It'll take me like 3 hours.
Is it really?
Yeah, I don't
Just
have
put it
like-
on overnight.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
But I want to play today.
You have normal Game Pass or Ultimate?
I don't have either, but I mean, I won't get
Do
one.
Ultimate because you get the Halo Reach characters.
How much more is it?
That too.
There's a deal right now where you can get 3 months for the price of one, which is like $17.
Yeah.
Although I think there's a deal for
Yeah.
for PC Pass where it's $6 for 1 month.
Oh, okay.
So
Maybe I'll do that.
it depends on what, but you won't get the Reach. I mean, it's not really like a deal breaker. It's just Emil and Cat, but
You get the two worst characters in the game.
okay, I'll give you Cat, but Emil's freaking sick.
I liked Kat, and I hated how she died.
Yeah, that's why I make fun of her.
Such a disservice to her character.
She's running needle rifle to the head. How does one needle rifle pierce through Spartan armor? I know they're Spartan 3s, but come on. That's just
Yeah,
that
her
shouldn't
death
happen.
frustrates me a lot.
Too easy.
I know.
Too-
Emil went out like a champ though.
Too easy.
On the
They all-
They all died really heroically.
There's free real estate in both you
Cat
guys'
didn't.
heads.
Kat? Oh yeah.
He just ran and got
Yeah.
shot in the head.
One of my Carter.
George.
Yeah.
George's was the most emotional death in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
game.
I
One
like
of the worst
Carter's was
I
the most.
teared up. You shut your mouth.
Carter's was the most badass.
Yeah, flying the pelican and the
yeah.
scarab.
His
That
line
was-
was something like a Noble Six or Cat. Whoever was alive at the time was like,
When Noble 6 and Emil
Yeah,
left.
They were the only
you're
two
like,
left.
they were
'Cause
like,
Jin?
he went off world.
June
yeah.
went off with Halsey.
Yeah.
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 They said, you don't have the firepower, and then Carter's like, no, but I have the mass. Oh,
Yeah.
such a great
He went out like a
line.
hero. He went out like a hero for sure.
Uh,
But yeah. What are your thoughts on Gears, Nick?
Yeah.
I've rambled on long enough.
yeah. I'm actually interested to hear what you.
I'm
what you have to say
disappointed in Gears 5.
about it. Dude, shut up. Speak
You just
normally.
easy triggered me. Are you gonna do it again?
Dizzy's not in the game.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Who's
My
Dizzy?
favorite
Nick's boy.
redneck in the entire
Oh
series.
right. Okay.
In the second game,
Yeah.
the guy
He's not
driving
in the game.
the rigger, Betty.
I know he's alive. He's in the damn books.
What do you call those people who kind of live like away in the wild?
So in the first trilogy, they were called the Stranded.
The stranded.
In the second trilogy, they're called Outsiders.
Mm.
Because basically, when you play Gears 5, this isn't spoilers. It tells you in like the first chapter. But the humanity has rebuilt, but they've rebuilt in these like protected settlements from that the COG have set up because Sarah, from like all the destruction that the planet suffered throughout the war,
Yep.
these like superstorms called wind flares have become like a thing,
Mm.
and they like would just like wipe out anything. So the COG has like rebuilt these settlements that can put up shields and lock in the
True,
city
true.
to protect it from it.
Yep.
So everyone lives in that, and then people who don't want to live under COG rule are out on their own, and they're called Outsiders.
Gotcha.
Essentially the same thing as Stranded.
So continue, Nick.
Yeah, Dizzy's not in the game, so it's just bad. It's a very bad game. No, the game's actually pretty fantastic. Like, probably one of the best games I've played this year. Definitely
it's been a
my
good year for games then.
It has been, and it's only gonna get better.
probably my favorite Gears of all time at this point. I know Gears 2 was great because it was fucking great.
We also had a great way of playing that.
Yeah.
Freaking all night, Nick's
Oh.
birthday night.
So jealous.
That was awesome. That
Co-op
was, like,
campaign is one of the things that I
Yeah.
live for.
The
That shit
co-op
was
campaign
awesome.
in Gears 5 is interesting because you can do like 3-player co-op. One person's the robot.
Yeah, you get to play as
Oh, that's
Jack and you
sick.
get to like heal, pick up weapons for
Yeah,
people.
it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But yeah, I finished up the campaign last night, and it was definitely very explosive finish.
Yeah.
And I agree with Brad. There's one point in the last act where I'm like, was this necessary? Like, did you guys have to do this? But I went through it because that's what they wanted to do, I guess. So I made my choice. Not happy with it, but it is what it is. Campaign overall is pretty solid. Like, the
That's
best
good to hear.
the best moments are like the intimate moments between the characters.
That's also really good to hear.
Because surprisingly, the characters actually carry Gears better than the gameplay does.
Like in Gears 4, you got a feel for the characters, but they really fleshed them out in this game.
Even in Gears like 2 and 3, like they
Yeah.
went in on the characters even more. Like it was great. Like the whole Dom and Maria arc.
Oh, that was tough. Dom is one of the most tragic,
That's one of the
most tragic
memorable
characters.
arcs in gaming for me is Dom and Maria, I think.
When he sees her and he thinks that she's like
oh my god.
she's like alive and
Yeah.
healthy, and he's so happy, and then he like reality comes and she's like the skeleton of a person.
That
she used
messed
to
me
be.
up, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that was
That's tough to watch.
that was great. And then yeah, Gears 5 is great. Like I just recently dabbled into multiplayer with Brad this morning. Escape is fun. I knew that from playing it at Fan Expo. Arcade is not so much fun.
What's
'cause
arcade?
Arcade is
Like the social
basically
slayer kind of thing?
sort of like you spawn as a character, and each character has like their own special like passive abilities. They kind of like they don't break the game, but they kind of just like give you like a little bit of an edge if they're activated. Like some people get, because you need to get eliminations, and the more eliminations you get allows you to buy weapons.
Think of
Yeah.
like Ordnance from Halo 4.
Yeah, so some characters get like 2 eliminations per execution or 2 eliminations per multi-kill, stuff like that, right? And some like, hey, when you get hit, you can move a little faster, or something like that. But some of the characters have access to the long shot as weapons, and the long shot just, maybe it's because we're playing on PC and people have better aim using mouse and keyboard, but they're fucking destroying us.
True.
Yeah,
I feel like if it
Well,
was on console, it'd be a little different.
Just wait till I join you guys.
#1 sniper for a week in Battlefield 2.
Yeah.
It was
Hell
more like 3
yes.
hours or something like that.
What?
Wasn't it like for like
3 hours during the week.
It was like a couple of days. I might have exaggerated and said it was a full week.
Yeah, you were #1 at one point, so that's
Yeah.
impressive enough.
Yeah, the game is great. I'm gonna play more multiplayer as I can. I want to play Horde mode because I did not enjoy Gears 4 Horde mode at all.
Yeah, I
It
liked
was-
what they were trying to go for, but it just missed the mark on certain things.
I
Whether
still,
it was
yeah.
only the scout being able to pick up the power or the lack of enemy variety. Those are what killed it for me.
Yeah. Well, there's a little more enemy variety in Gears 5, but I just wish they would. Did they like? Are they adding the locust in this one? Like the actual proper locust in Gears 5 Horde? Or am I just
Actually, I don't know.
crazy?
That'd be awesome. If
I hope
did.
they just-
I mean, Horde doesn't need to be full canon. Like you can just
Yeah, I
throw
know,
in
I
any of
just-
the old creatures. just for
Question:
fun.
will playing multiplayer spoil Gears 4 campaign?
No.
Okay.
No,
You might see like new enemy types, but like that's not really a big deal.
they're just different types of swarm
Okay.
you'll encounter through the campaign.
So-
And there'll be voices from characters you may have not met yet, but them talking in the game won't mean anything to you until you play the campaign.
Cool.
So
Cool.
Was Foz in Gears 4? I don't remember.
No.
No.
no, Foz is a
He
new
kind of
character.
grew on me towards the end.
Yeah, he did. Although,
Surprisingly.
yeah, when I first met him, I was like, "Fuck this guy."
Yeah.
But I got a bit of respect for him now.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's a really good game. If you have a Xbox One, Xbox One X, or even have PC with Steam on it, get it. It's like it's probably gonna be the best game you buy September.
Is that a shot at Borderlands?
Maybe.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it is.
You only come on this show to take shots at things. I know you
Yeah, I
by
just-
now.
Like I already told you guys, like part of me wants Borderlands 3 to crash and burn. Did you see that PC Gamer review of the game?
Or
Borderlands 3?
no.
It got the low. It gave the lowest score so far.
Wait, were they the ones who gave it like 63 or something?
Yeah,
I
sure.
did. I saw the number when I was going through the review thread.
Yeah, they're talking. The guy was talking about how like, yeah, the gameplay is still there, but like, it's the same jokes and story elements and stuff from like Borderlands 1 and 2, which was like almost a decade ago, right?
True.
So like, if you aren't into that kind of humor anymore, then the game's probably not gonna be for you. But if you still enjoy that, then yeah.
So
Yeah,
it doesn't
you'll
really
feel right
grow,
at
I
home.
guess.
Yeah, so it's like talking about like the just like the narrative elements are like the same kind of ones they used before, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
it's a Borderlands game.
it's
Essentially.
I don't know. I just don't feel as excited for Borderlands 3 as I was for like 2.
I remember when you got to. I came to your house, and that was the first time I ever played Borderlands.
Is that
Yeah.
do you think the series just headed in a direction that you didn't want it to really head into?
I have no idea. It's just like the yeah, they're like a looter shooter, and they're like the quote unquote first looter shooter, whatever the fuck you want to call it, whatever, right?
I
And
hate
just,
that term, looter shooter.
yeah, it's dumb.
Every game's becoming a looter shooter.
Even Ghost Recon Breakpoint's apparently
Yeah.
becoming a looter shooter.
I was seeing a lot of like people who have access to beta, and they're saying that it feels like just like Ghost Recon meets Division.
I
And
was
it's
like,
why?
that's
You already have Division. This is Tom Clancy. Like, your
and
games are supposed to be different.
if that's true, I'm a little disappointed because I'm like, I like Wildlands because it was just like it was like a tactical game that you can just like have fun in and like just stick around. Like I don't want any loot to be part of that, but whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, I just feel like all like the looter shooters, like Destiny is my love. That is like my main game. And
What about Anthem? If it was like better,
you want to see me cry?
so you think it could
Do you
it
wanna
has
s-
potential, basically?
Do you want to see me cry on the
No,
podcast?
no, I
No?
don't.
Okay, let's not talk about Anthem then.
Okay, fair.
Okay. What if Anthem actually was good?
Yeah.
I think Anthem could have beaten out Destiny. Like legitimately, I think that because the combat and gameplay I think is so much better than that. Like you feel powerful, like you roll over enemies like you should, and like when you get to bosses, they feel tough like they should. In Destiny, I feel like it just I don't know. I like when the abilities aren't when abilities are the main focus
Yeah.
and the guns are the side characters.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's why I think they're different games, because Destiny is an
Yeah.
FPS first, whereas
Anthem's-
Anthem is a much more ability based game.
Yeah.
The gun plays second fiddle.
That's
for
why
sure.
I loved Anthem's gameplay so much more than Destiny. It's just fortunate how all the Anthem bullshit. But anyways,
I was actually talking to Andre about that the other day, because he dipped in to try the Cataclysm event.
yeah, I
He
saw
was like, "Why can't Destiny feel this good?"
I saw him playing, and I'm like, Andre, you're just torturing yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, just Destiny is my love first and foremost, and I know I'm definitely not touching Borderlands 3 on console. I'm probably not gonna get it on the Epic Game Store because no one else is gonna fucking buy it on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, I'm just waiting until Steam release. I
so
think.
I'm just like at this point, if I'm gonna play it, I'll wait till it comes out on Steam.
There's no cross play between Epic Games and Steam.
No, there is.
Oh, okay.
I
But
think yeah,
there's no point in him getting it 6 months early. To
yeah.
play with nobody.
I just don't.
Gotcha.
And there's no point. Like even if my brother got it, if my brother got it, I might like think about it because me and him like played the shit out of Borderlands 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Borderlands 3 just seems to be like it's like it's a relic stuck in the past.
Game that doesn't want to move on, kind of.
Yeah, like it looks like they have like quality of life improvements that improve the gameplay overall, but it just seems like the way it's being presented, the way it looks, the way it plays, it looks like it's a game stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, haven't really touched it, just kind of like going off what I've seen. But
That's
yeah,
fair.
I do want the game to do well. I do want people that like it to enjoy it. I want
you?
all that. Part of me does.
Okay.
Part of me does. You know, the other part of me the
you
chaos
got
part
the
wants me to
chaos,
see
for
it like
sure.
crash and burn because I want to see Randy Pitchford fucking fall off from his high horse.
Yeah.
But yeah, Borderlands 3 seems to be. I've like passed it by. It feels like I want different experiences. I don't want something that
Yeah, you've tasted that
Yeah.
10 years ago. You're looking for something new.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. Anyways, Gears 5, great game.
Amazing.
As far as what I've been playing, you want to move on to that really quickly?
Yeah.
Not much. I kind of stopped playing Dark Souls.
Just kind of weren't feeling it.
No, I just didn't ever play it again.
Okay, fair. Well, you've
Um,
been grinding ranked in League, haven't you?
I'm grinding. I play like a game a day or like 2 games a day. So,
Eh.
but that is
I
grinding.
like
for me.
grinding. Yeah,
That is grinding for me.
like
That's
grinding
my
between
definition of
our
grinding.
ARAM sessions.
I failed my platinum promos twice.
No.
I'm in my platinum promos again.
What's your record?
What do you mean?
in your promo?
Oh no,
Oh no. Okay. They don't give you the free win.
guess not.
Oh,
Guess I'm not good enough for that.
Rude as hell.
Okay. The problem with solo queue is like it's so. I feel like it's such a, and this might be completely wrong, but I feel like it's so RNG. It's like sometimes you can just lose and there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, that's with every game.
I feel like my mentality is that's not true. I should be able to carry every game, but sometimes, like it's tough.
Yeah,
So,
you're gonna get people who are not in the right mindset, or just go up against people who are better than them or better than you.
I played a game. The fifth game. I was 2-2. Fifth game.
You made it to game 5.
I had a Vigar support.
Oh, that's
which
always great.
I don't mind. No, I didn't mind that.
Okay.
I guess sport's not actually too bad because
And then
like the crib does
what
a lot
I
of
did
speed.
mind though was he just farmed his Q in lane.
No,
So
yeah, the whole point of Vigar
at-
support is like you max
At like
out
10
that
minutes,
crib.
I had 60
Yeah.
CS. He had like 60 CS. Well, it was basically half and half.
That's my big gripe with people who play support is the ones who play the lane
Autofill, dude.
but don't play the role.
Yeah.
I tell you about like the Lee Sin support I had. It was a normal, but this guy literally just like sat in a bush and would
Lee Sin
just
support.
like shield me every so often and thought like what he was doing was fine. It's just like, yeah, it's
Unfortunate.
probably the autofill, but it's tough, especially because like as an AD carry, your
And that's-
lane phase affects very much whether you're going to be able
Yeah.
to carry the game. So if you have somebody who's like literally putting you behind the other AD carry by stealing your gold is
Which is why
pretty
I
shitty.
swapped to mid because I couldn't deal with supports.
yeah. The only thing you have to worry about is like a jungler who,
Less
but
so.
that's way less
Yeah.
than a support who's screwing up your lane. So
He's always there.
You know, Lee Sin support could work like post 6, but levels 1
but
to
like
5.
for what he has, there's
Yeah.
so many champions who just have more.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like
Like the Lee Sin works well when he gains because 1, he has high damage, and 2, if you have a laner who has like built-in CC, it works even better.
yeah.
Unless you like play Jin, then you freaking somehow manage to land your W and root them.
I wish there was like
Or-
a queue for competitive people to play. Because I feel like solo queue
What do you mean?
isn't that queue.
But how would you make that?
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
everyone would just be like, "Oh, I'm competitive," and then they would go
There
right?
is no way.
As far as you can do is be like, "This is where you gain LP. Come here if you want to win."
I wish there was like a very
no one
like
can click
you
it.
must enter your phone number, and like
Are
pay
they
like a
doing
$5 membership per month.
they
And
doing
this is like
But you
Korea?
wouldn't do that.
what?
You wouldn't do that. You're all against
would.
giving your information.
I actually did. I actually put my number for Clash. I'm the team leader.
Who are you and what have you done with Shamik?
Clash is.
You're
worth
always
it.
about you're anti giving
Clash
away
was
any
worth it.
information.
Don't you agree? That was some of the best league that I've ever played.
That was okay.
Oh
I got
Yeah.
relegated to freaking top lane bullshit again.
no, it was Thomas who played top. You were support.
Wait, what was I? Oh, support. That's right.
Yeah.
I just support normal.
Support normal isn't so bad. You just fight all the time.
Yeah, it's
Well, you
fun,
do.
but he sucks. You have to carry him.
I played support Leona after you got off last night.
How
Me
many
and
more
Jane,
games did you guys play?
I think we played 1 or 2.
Okay.
We played one.
Yeah, I played Leona and Jay played Jin.
And I played Kazakhs, and we were against
We
Fiddle Graves.
Fiddle Graves
I just
bot
camped
lane.
their lane. It was hilarious.
We just
That
like
sounds
we
awful.
invaded level 1. We got the first blood on the Kazakhs,
Hey.
and then me and Jay just kept fighting bot lane, and sometimes we'd win more often we'd lose.
Yeah, I was there mostly. So
I give the guy credit for trying to make Graves ADC work. I miss it too, but buddy, the new Graves is not meant for that role.
Nope.
Yeah, it was fun. Just like, all right, Jay, I'm going in.
Yeah.
He just follows up.
if we're ever free for Clash again, we should play. Because I want to play with you guys. I feel like we have the right mentality to play Clash together. Jay maybe.
Is Clash gonna be working?
True.
That's
And, like-
that's the big question.
And like
mark.
one other person who has like our mentality, who's
Yeah.
like chill and is down to try hard and
Don't
stuff.
care
but
if we
also-
O2 first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down.
I feel like whenever they
I'm not
bring
gonna
out
take it serious.
Clash, it, like always like crashes somehow.
Yeah.
They should call it Crash.
So yeah, that's what I've been
Uh,
playing pretty much.
Fair. You should get Game Pass and join us in Gears.
I definitely am.
My dream is to get 5 of us playing frickin' Horde, bro. When you get a coordinated group, I remember the days of Gears 2 and Gears 3 playing Horde with this guy and his brother.
Remember when like you could like plant those shields down, like make a fortress?
Yeah, the frickin' shields that the Maulers, is that what they had?
I
the
think
guys with
so.
the mace?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in Gears 2. That was so
You would plant
fun.
the shields out, and make it like planted in a certain way where they wouldn't despawn or like
Yeah.
remove or couldn't be kicked down.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. You just like farm waves up forever.
So good. I like, man, Horde has got to be one of my favorite PvE game modes in any game.
I stopped
like-
playing Infinitode, because it got too hard, and my brain isn't that big. Like-
You can't galaxy brain your way out of that game.
No, that game is too tough right now. So it's like grindy. You have to grind for the resources to invest into your skill tree and stuff. And I'm just like,
Ain't about that.
Uh,
Too lazy for the
for-
grind.
Sean, for 99 cents, just pay for the resources.
there is no
What are
pay
we playing,
option.
Kirby?
Are you sure? I looked at the app on the Play Store. It said offers in-app purchases.
Interesting. I haven't seen yet any so far.
I didn't download it to like look myself, but I saw like on the because
I feel
every
like it's just
store
every
has
game has to say that nowadays.
every store, like every digital front now says like offers in-app purchases on like the storefront page for games. Like even Gears of War says it on the Xbox beta thing.
Nope.
Which I'm like,
I hate how games do this, but
I mean, like they're not in the way. It feels like for Gears 5.
no, I've seen a lot of people like I've been on Reddit a lot, especially because like the technical issues, and I've seen a lot of people complaining. But I mean, it's Reddit, so when do you not see people complaining? The stuff that they offer is expensive, but it's all cosmetic crap. Like you don't need to buy it, so it doesn't matter. I guess the only thing I would say that kind of feels a little off is the rewards from the Tour of Duty, which is like their battle pass. It's
Yeah.
all free because you pay for the game. So unlike like PUBG or well, even PUBG you pay for the game, you have to pay for it. But like Fortnite, where you buy this season battle pass, it's free. But the challenges versus the rewards you get seem kind of lackluster. But again, we've seen this with things like Apex and stuff, where their first pass was like pretty mediocre in quality, and they've upped it. So I'm gonna hold off and see what season 2 brings, and hopefully it brings a lot more characters or skins to the table. Because right now the only like really useful stuff you get from leveling all of it is like 3 or 4 skins of characters that are already in the game from the campaign
Mm-hmm.
that they just didn't give you to put in here,
True.
and no new characters. So I'm hoping that we get better stuff. Because that's the only thing that in multiplayer, I feel like the character limit, like that they start us off with, is kind of low.
How-
Like, you get like 6 people.
Kind of related, but also because I'm running through this in my mind. How big is Gears 4? Any idea?
Download wise,
Yeah.
100
some-
gigs.
it's over 100 gigs. Could not tell you why. It is a smaller game than Gears 5 in any way, or in every way. I have no idea why this game's over 100 gigs.
So
but
Nick, I'm bringing my PC to your place so I can download Gears 4 and 5.
just live at his house.
No,
True. Yeah.
no.
Just set up
I've seen what brown people living do in Brad's house.
another shot at Nermal.
Wow. Fuck you.
I'm kidding. I don't love you, Nermal. I'm not sorry.
My favorite memory
You still
at your
watching.
house was the tequila situation. I don't know if you remember.
Tequila situation.
Yeah. It was a great time.
Or you wouldn't take the shot of Uzo?
Yeah. I took some of it.
Fucking pansy. Whatever, man. Freaking just take a shot. Oh, I had a
I
shot.
agree.
We finally got like I told Ophelia and I told like her friend that was there, like we have to get Logan to pull her away somehow, who was the bride the wedding was at Sunday. We have to pull her away somehow
Mm-hmm.
and take shots with her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we're gonna do
Did
it,
it
but we
happen?
gotta do it.
Um,
It happened,
Nice.
but they gave a shot to Grey Goose vodka.
Ah.
I was so disappointed. It's vodka is that vodka is absolute trash.
You
Grey
don't have to
Goose,
say that.
Grey Goose is
You could just say
horrible.
vodka.
And I somehow got 2 shot glasses. She's like, Nick, you gotta take both. And I'm like, all right. I felt like shit after.
This reminds me of frickin' what the hell's that shit you put on like cuts and
like
rubbing alcohol. Thank you.
Yeah.
But like you have like there's good vodka, which is obviously more
Is there?
expensive, and then there's Grey Goose, which is like the worst kind ever.
Is there good vodka now?
Yeah, there is. Have you had Stoli?
Oh, probably not.
Yeah, I'll give you some
Probably
Stoli.
super expensive, right?
No, it's not actually. It's actually really good Latvian
Okay.
vodka.
I've had.
Latvian.
Yeah.
Is it made from potatoes?
What's the
Probably.
vodka that you guys always got when we would hang out? Like the red lid, clear bottle.
Smirnoff.
That's what I've had.
The go-to high school.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's probably like cheap shit. So that's why.
Smirnoff's
That's why.
better than Grey Goose at least.
Okay. Well, I hated Smirnoff, so
What? Smirnoff's better than Grey Goose?
Ooh.
It's about like
Producer
a like a
Ethan.
little, like a
Nerds.
little bit, like a little
why is
bit.
Grey Goose supposed to be good?
Grey Goose is trash.
Is it expensive?
I don't think so.
It is
It
one
is?
of the worst vodkas I've ever had in my life. I've had a lot of vodka. Grey Goose is trash. I would rather buy Smirnoff.
Interesting.
rather drink rum and
Capital
alcohol.
INT. Interesting.
What?
I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
We're not entering into any conversation right now. Maybe we are if it's vodka stuff.
I hate allergy.
Let's move on though.
I'm sorry.
Have I mentioned that?
Yeah, you have.
Okay. Probably a broken record, but I will forever say
No.
allergies
it.
are the worst.
So what happened last week that we like
Stuff happened.
missed because freaking some company was like, let's do this like after.
So apparently, Adidas and Ninja signed a thing. You guys see that?
What?
Like Adidas, the sports company, signed
Yeah.
a brand sponsorship with Ninja, the streamer content
Really?
developer. Yeah.
Oh, quickly, like
So it's just like ink
one more
merch.
thing from the wedding. You know, you can get custom Nikes that like say bride and groom on them.
Of course you can.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course you can.
They had them at the wedding. Like I saw them, like yo, that's dope. Like they
I'm
got
not surprised.
the groom had like black Nikes, and the logo was like sparkly black, and on the one shoe it had the date, and the
Yeah.
other one said groom on it.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Probably expensive as hell, but still cool.
But yeah,
That's
just
interesting.
wanted to mention that because
What other sponsorships? Like he's
I
gonna be
feel
happy.
like-
he's like the Crosby of video games.
I feel like that's kind of weird though. Like some sports brand sponsoring.
everyone watches him. They just
If
wanna
it
get
makes
their,
Adidas money,
money,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Very true.
yeah, they
very
don't
true.
care that he
You're gonna
doesn't
have
run.
kids come up and buying Ninja themed Adidas
Ninja.
pants.
Yeah.
What are they called? The Adidas shoes?
Superstar.
Sure. No, what's like the soft foam stuff that they're proprietary?
Oh,
You know.
called.
Soft foam stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, but what is? There's an actual
Ultra
name
Boost.
for it.
Ultra Boost. Ninja Ultra Boosts.
Where it looks like you're walking on a freaking marshmallow.
Yeah. They're really comfy. I like.
Ultra Boost
I'm
are
sure they're comfy, but
they're
look
actually
a,
amazing.
I don't like the look of them.
Mm.
Like
the ones I have aren't bad.
The
Fuck it.
poofy stuff sticks out too much.
Fuck it. Who cares
At least
what
the
it looks
ones that
like?
I saw when I worked at Sport Check. I don't know if they've changed since
The
then.
ones I have don't look like that.
Are you wearing them today?
No.
Well, then how am I supposed to see? Take a picture, show me.
Okay.
I'll make a judgment call. So yeah, Nintendo Direct happened. We just missed it. It happened the day after we recorded last week's
The
episode.
direct.
But gives us something to talk about today, so that's good. Pretty loaded 40 minutes. Mostly good, a few questionable things. So they opened it up by announcing what
Star
we
Fox, the
already
new
saw.
Star Fox. So, yeah.
It wasn't me this time. Remember my promise?
Continue.
I hate you.
I know.
Okay, Metroid's a dead game.
Did not open with Star Fox. We did not get any Star Fox throughout the entire thing because Nintendo hates good things. No, but they announced Overwatch, which had already been leaked from various sources, so it was to no surprise to anyone. It actually looked better on the Switch in the gameplay they showed than I thought it would, but I still stand by I feel like this is too little, too late to release it. This game's almost 3 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, I guess some people buy. I think the biggest problem about that I find with this release is that people have been like playing this game for years, and they've been doing these events and getting these exclusive skins, and then now it's like, hey,
You know what my
start a new account. Like, there's no cross
Yeah.
save, right?
That's very true. You wanna know what my biggest problem with this release is? It's Overwatch. That's my problem.
It's Overwatch.
Overwatch is not a fun game.
Is
It was
Overwatch
until
gonna happen?
until the meta formed.
Yeah.
When people didn't fully know what the meta was of the game, it actually felt fun, but then it just became this
It's not a
game
shooter.
that was only focused on ultimates.
It's like
It was shoot each other
Heal.
and stack your ultimates for 3 minutes.
Yep.
Everyone's got ult. Okay,
Build
we
ult.
either win with
Mm.
our 6 ult or they stop us, and then do this for 3 minutes and do it again.
how do you feel about Overwatch, Nick? Any particular one way or the other?
I'm overwatching it.
That
And
was
playing it?
actually really good.
I'm actually impressed, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The game has potential, but it's just they need to make ultimates less important, I think.
It's not
Or-
gonna happen.
It's not going to happen. They have their meta.
It's a
and that's what
Blizzard
people
game.
want, but
This was my issue with when Call of Duty started introducing heroes into their games. I'm like, heroes don't work in FPS games, guys.
yeah,
It's a light
'Cause they-
perspiration
they-
game, so
They take too much of the
Yep.
the important part.
did you hear what I said?
What'd you say?
It's a light perspiration game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Light perspiration. It's not fully sweaty. The hair on my microphone. There are 2 hairs on it.
Sorry, I just love bashing on Overwatch. I know I sound like a broken record.
You're like
but
Nick with Borderlands. Now I need to find a game to bash on. So
Yeah,
we each
I'm
have
frustrated
something.
because I was so excited for this like amazing game and it just wasn't
Didn't.
to me.
What should I bash on? What should be my game to hate?
Your game, you Star Citizen.
Everyone hates Star Citizen.
Okay.
Hey, speak for yourself, buddy.
I'll get back to you guys. I gotta figure it out because I need my thing.
Yeah, true.
The next game they announced, Nick and I actually play a little bit, so we can talk a bit about our thoughts. So it's this new Kirby game, or not so new Kirby game, because apparently a very similar version of this game was out on the 3DS, called Super Kirby Heroes or Kirby Clash, Super Kirby Clash, or something like that.
What is it? A fighter?
So it's like an RPG light
RPG.
Kirby game where you play a role as either a swordsman, a heavy hitter who has got a hammer, a
Healer.
magician, or a healer.
Yeah.
And you
Is it
go
turn based?
No, it's like all you fight are bosses.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's just like a whole ton of like boss fights that get harder and stuff from the Kirby world. And that sounds awesome.
Mhm.
Like, you know, Kirby's with different abilities. That's what Kirby is. Kirby sucks in abilities and becomes different things.
Yeah.
So this fits the universe. This is Kirby. So I watched the gameplay trailer. They showed it at the direct and they announced that it was coming out for free. But then they said it's a free to start game.
Oh, and boy, is it ever a free to start game.
So as soon as I hear that term, I'm like, I haven't heard that often. This sounds like a pay to play Nintendo game that they
Okay.
came up with their own friendly free to start. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
It's fun for the first hour or two
Okay.
until you realize that you were limited to how much you could play. It
Yeah.
is literally time gated. So what it is,
So it is free to start. They weren't lying to you.
no, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, great, microtransactions
Yeah.
are going to interfere with this. So you start the game, you can play solo, or you can play online with friends, or you can play couch co-op. Although you have to, Nick and I found out the hard way, you have to progress a certain way before it enables multiplayer. Because him and I were sitting there for like 20 minutes, like, how the hell do you play multiplayer?
Yeah.
And then Nick's like, oh, play a couple missions, maybe it'll unlock it, and it worked. So
Smart,
thankfully, one
smart.
of us had a brain. So you basically queue up, you go up against bosses, you beat them. As you beat the bosses, you unlock more bosses and you unlock more worlds where you fight them. So the stages change and stuff like that. And you'll level up your character, and the higher level, your stats will go up, like your stamina, your HP, and stuff like that. And you'll get the ability to buy better gear. All it is like the swordsman can buy a better helmet and a better sword. Like it's not like heavy RPG elements or anything like that. So Nick and I started playing the game. We're unlocking some bosses. And then we noticed there's this thing on the top right corner called Vigor.
There's
There's the
it is.
first catch. So with
That's how
Vigor,
they get you.
every time you start a boss fight, if you lose, you
Yep,
still spend
Yep.
it.
Yep.
You pay Vigor to
Mhm.
fight the bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Your Vigor generates every 6 to 7 minutes, one at a time. My total Vigor after
20.
2 hours playing with Nick was 17.
Mm.
The boss I was on was consumed 10.
Yep.
There's also two bigger bars, one for the the story mode and one for the party missions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't play story missions with friends online.
True.
So Nick and I
Unfortunate.
we played story, but you can't play story with friends. So like even like local, Nick would just be an AI character, so he couldn't level up his character.
Yeah.
He would have to be an AI in my story mode. So first of all, we're like, okay, well that's dumb because I don't want to be here leveling up myself and Nick are not getting any
Yeah.
XP.
Yep. Yep.
So I was like, okay, let's go online. Let's do the party mechanics.
Yeah.
Well, the only way you level up by playing online is if you queue randomly. If you match with your
Ooh,
friends, you still don't get XP, which makes no sense to me because it's a co-op game. You can't like cheat.
No, you get XP for your characters. You just don't get.
Or sorry,
like,
you don't get the ribbons,
You
which
get
are
the medals and apples.
and the medals give you apples, which is a premium currency in the game to unlock new bosses.
Of course.
So if I
Of
made a
course.
lobby and invited Nick, only I would earn the medals because I'm the leader. So he would get no progress on it, which just doesn't make any
No,
sense to me because
really
it's a co-op
doesn't.
game. If it was like a competitive multiplayer game and they didn't want you like cheating by like leeching off each other to get challenges done, I get that, but it's a co-op game. Why are you limiting? So Nick and I would like make an online game and he would have to try and join quickly
Yeah.
before other people joined. And then we realized that was too hard because everyone was playing it because the
And I
game just
couldn't
came out.
Always find his host because I tried refreshing the server and
Oh, it's a
like
browser?
Yeah.
and it would just like it wouldn't show up on him. It was
And
like,
it fills up pretty fast.
Yeah.
So then we took turns hosting so that we could each get our challenges done so we could get the currency.
Yep.
But then we'd just be doing the same fights. And then another mechanic in the game, obviously, Nick says the apples. You use these apples to buy your gear. You use these apples to unlock the boss fights, which then consume vigor to play. So you have to buy the boss fight first. Then you have to use the time-based currency to play the fight.
Yeah.
You also use this currency to buy your gear, to I guess that's everything.
Yeah.
And then there's this tree in the game that you can shake, and apples fall out.
But you can probably
Oh,
only shake it once every
cool.
like day or something.
You can shake it once every 12 hours.
Mm.
But get this. If you buy apples with real life money, the tree gives you more per shake. What the fuck, bro?
And before this game does really well, Nintendo just starts making MTX Riddle games.
It probably
forever.
will because Wales.
It's probably gonna do well because they know. Remember that Super Mario Run game that came on the phones?
That do well?
It didn't do as well as Fire Emblem Heroes because Fire Emblem
Yeah.
Heroes was free to play,
Yeah.
and people would rather spend money on microtransactions than spend like $10 up front.
Yep.
Apparently,
And it's actually funny you should mention that because I was telling Nick as we were playing, I was like, I'd rather drop $40 on this game and just have all the bosses because the gameplay was fun. It was simplistic combat. You had like 3 or 4 moves per character, but it was a lot of fun. And Kirby games are always just lighthearted, like fun games, and I was really enjoying it. But the fact that I'm limited, I'm time gated on how like often I can play this game.
The energy mechanic turns me off a game instantly.
Yeah.
If you have to spend energy to play your game, what are you even doing at that point?
Oh, and then if you're doing a boss fight and you have a time limit, right, to kill it, if you run out of time, it's like you could pay apples to add 30 seconds to your
Wait,
fight.
you can run out of time in the boss fight?
So you have to kill it in a certain amount of time. So I was doing one of the
Damn.
bosses,
you like
and
3 minutes.
he was flashing red, blinking red, which means he's almost dead. And it's like, would you like 30 seconds more time? Pay 5 apples. And I'm like, why?
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this
That's
crap
actually
was.
bad.
I
That
thought this
sounds
crap was
really
limited
bad.
to mobile.
Yeah.
Why is it like leaking onto my
technically
Switch?
The Switch is mobile.
Fine, you got me there. But yeah, I was really excited for this game and have been pretty turned off from it now because of this.
Is it an infinite kind of game where it just there's no end to the levels and bosses? It'll just kind of
No, there's a limit.
There's a certain number
I
of
think
like,
there's like 20
missions you can
bosses
do,
or something like that.
but you can always like replay and all that stuff.
To grind
I
your
assume
characters.
they'll add more as the time goes on, but
I'd much rather pay up front and just have access to this whole game.
I can't deal with it, man. That kind of stuff.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
I feel like we shouldn't, or at least
It's
I don't.
stupid, and it makes me so upset because it's like it's wasted. Like they put all this effort in developing this game,
And
and
wasted to us.
then, to me, obviously some people are going to enjoy this way, but the fact that this game was on the 3DS and then Nintendo thought it was good enough to bring back makes me think that enough people paid microtransactions for it back then, so it'll probably do well here. But
Imagine Super Mario 64, but every time you
No.
jump into
every
a,
painting you had to
every
pay, and it
painting,
had like a time. Like
No,
yeah, you pay a certain
don't,
amount of coins or something.
don't.
awful. I will never ever
No.
complain about the price of a video game again, because then we get this freemium
Yeah.
crap that sucks.
Video
It's
games are
free to
cheap,
start.
I think,
Well, there's the
generally
argument
for the
that,
amount of
like,
work that goes into them.
They've never gone up the price for
Yeah,
so long.
these like video games should cost more,
I agree.
and like
I
because the
agree.
price literally has.
You look at
never,
development costs.
Yep.
like, the
Pretty
price has
insane.
never gone up for video games. Like everything else has risen with inflation. Video games have stayed stagnant.
Yeah, like you even look at like Blu-rays and stuff and DVDs. You buy a brand new movie, you're looking at almost like $35. I remember
Yeah.
back in the day it was like $15-20. That's crazy. But games have always been the same.
The theory is that like next generation is gonna start with like the more
Like
expensive.
$80 US kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Keep this crap, this time gated crap away, and I'll gladly pay $15-20 more
No
for a game.
energy, no gotchas,
Yeah, it's
No,
just so
any of that
wasted.
stuff.
Anyway, so they announced that game. I mean, if you like Kirby and you want to try it out, but unless you're willing to pay money, you're going to be playing in like hour sections and then coming back to it later. It's pretty grueling. They showed off Little Town Hero, which formerly known as just Town,
Mhm.
which is a new game made by Game Freak. I'm assuming made
Game
from a
Freak?
very small group from Game
Does
Freak
Game Freak
because
make anything other than Pokemon? Like
they have
ever?
this program. I was reading about it when they announced this
like internal
platformer.
ideas, right?
Yeah, where they like you can present ideas, and if they think it's good enough, they'll pursue
They'll
it.
make it.
So I think that's what
Sure.
Little Town Hero kind of turned into. They released another game a little while ago that ended up coming out on Epic
Right.
Game Store. I can't remember. You remember like where you could like destroy stuff, had a mechanic to like warp like materials and stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember what it's called. Sorry about that, but you can look it up. So I guess this was another one of those things. The game looks pretty small. You're just this kid in this town. Monsters start coming by, and you have to like go around the town recruiting people to help like save it. Looks okay. I don't think I'm gonna grab it. I'll probably watch gameplay to see what it's all about.
It
But
looked less interesting when they first revealed it.
yeah, when it was
Yeah.
a little more like mysterious, you didn't
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
it was like.
didn't
Oh,
know
what could
anything
this
about
be?
it.
And then the more the features they showed, I was like,
Seem
hmm.
generic. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just it's turn-based combat. Like it doesn't look like it's too different from
One of those
Pokemon, but
free to
just
start games.
is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I
definitely
freaking
should
hope
have.
not. Oh, it's not like I'm gonna get it anyways. But they showed off that. Then we got some of the most juicy content from this Switch or from this Direct, which was the Smash stuff. So they announced Banjo's release date was the day they had the Direct. So Banjo and Kazooie came out. The main rumor leading into it of who would be the fourth character, Terry Bogard from SNK Fatal Fury. He was announced as the next character. They didn't show off any moves, but they showed him, and he's coming out in November, which is good. A lot of the characters are coming out a lot quicker now because we had Joker come out, and I think he came out what March or April, and then
Sure.
we didn't get. So that was like the first DLC character. The game came out in December. We had to wait 5 months, 4 or 5 months to get Joker. Then we had to wait 3 or 4 months to get Hero, and then literally a month later Banjo, and then 2 months. So now the DLC characters are kind of coming out faster.
I feel like they've had these plans who they want the characters like
Probably.
set a lot earlier than what it seems like.
Yeah,
So because Joker coming out and then Hero, I feel like though they had those two like they want to do them, and then there's like they had Banjo and Terry Bogard like being developed at the same time. I feel like they're all being developed around like the same time ish.
yeah. So once they started releasing them, it was just
Yeah.
kind of like domino effect. Go
so
go go.
we didn't get Tracer, but do you think
No.
there's room for an Overwatch now that character in Smash?
Well, there's still
now
the
that...
fifth and final one to come out for the original Fighter Pass.
Right.
This is
And is
huge
there going to be a
news.
second fighter pass?
They announced that
Fair.
they're going to add more, which I think it's good for so many reasons. One, we get to add more characters to this already like ridiculously huge roster that Ultimate has made, and two, this means that Nintendo has seen success with this game. No surprise to anyone, but they're going to keep supporting it, and it's going to
Yeah.
last longer because it's getting more characters. I don't think anyone from Overwatch is big enough.
Tracer, Reaper.
But like, there's so many more games and like iconic characters out in the gaming world that haven't made it to
Yeah, but like
to Ultimate. I don't see how Overwatch would beat that. Like,
Let-
I think a character from like World of Warcraft, like Blizzard has more important characters than Overwatch.
let's be real here. Like how many Fire Emblem characters
I don't
from
think so.
Three Houses are going to
Oh,
Smash now?
That was the biggest joke. The biggest joke was they only had announced a new pass so that Byleth could come in. And I was like, hey, I'm for it. More Fire Emblem characters. Let's go.
I would play Byleth.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
can
think-
add Byleth, both male and female, and then all three house leaders. That's the next set of DLC.
I think all three House Leaders would be a little much.
Oh, for sure. People would be so pissed.
I'd be like,
People
"Hey, guys,
already
come
call
on."
it like Fire Emblem Ultimate. 'cause
I
there's
feel
so many
like
characters,
you added
so.
3 House Leaders as part of like Byleth's Ultimate.
Either that or maybe like costumes for me fighters
Yeah.
because they've been doing a lot of that.
I will.
You were
I
gonna
will
say
say, I think there's an argument to be made for Overwatch being the most recognizable brand that Blizzard has, as far as like mainstream pop culture goes.
Maybe, but even like
Outside of like, I think more casual people who don't really play video games
that's fair.
have heard of Overwatch. Like, I feel like everyone's heard
That's
of
fair.
Overwatch.
Overwatch was like back in 2016 was massive.
Yeah, I mean, it won Game of the Year in a lot of places. I just don't think anything Blizzard has is big enough to punch this roster. I think with the extended pass, they didn't announce how many more characters,
Isn't it 4?
so there was no number.
Okay.
Sora from Kingdom Hearts has been rumored since this pass came out, so this increases his chances of getting in. I think Minecraft Steve is still on the table. New Fire Emblem character. People would be so angry, but I would love it, especially because Three Houses did so well. Like if it was like a meh game, then I can
But I mean,
understand.
like,
but like it did so well.
They've done Fire. They've always done Fire Emblem. They brought in the OG characters. They brought in the Awakening characters. They
Yeah.
brought in like the Fate.
The Fate character
the
core.
Fate characters. Yeah.
You think Fire Emblem can join the big three as
Of
part
what?
of like kind of create this like this big four of the franchises that Nintendo has?
including like Mario, Zelda, and
I think with the
What's the
release
third
of
one?
Three Houses.
Um,
Mario, Zelda. What else they got there? Nothing else. Or
no, there is one more.
maybe Star Fox.
No.
The other one's dead. You not really?
there's
Smash.
nothing.
That's what I meant.
But Smash is like a collab of them.
You really
Sure.
you can't think of it. That other one.
Well, Metroid, but Metroid's
You had to say. I
No, I don't think it's. I
wanted
don't
to
think it's
see-
Metroid.
no,
Oh, okay,
it's
thank
not
goodness.
anymore.
No.
Metroid's
Um,
dead.
Yeah, I think Fire Emblem will probably get a character. Sora, Steve, maybe even some crazy crossover where they get Crash
Sure,
from Activision.
that'd be weird.
Because I mean, Activision, they've released Insane Trilogy on the Switch. Like, it's not a PlayStation
Yeah.
property, right? Activision owns Crash, so maybe something like that. I don't see Overwatch getting it.
What's I'm saying? I think with the release of Three Houses, I think Fire Emblem is like up there now. Probably not like as big as Zelda, but I would put like Mario, Zelda, and Fire Emblem because Fire Emblem's like has been Nintendo exclusive only for like a long time. So I'd be like, I think for me it would be Mario, Zelda, Fire Emblem, Star Fox, Metroid.
Let's go. Star Fox over
Plus,
Metroid.
also
Sorry, Matthew.
the latest Fire Emblem
Not sorry, Matthew.
is better received than the latest Mario game. Generally, I want to say.
What did Matthew say?
BRB leaving work to storm the 3-can-play studio. Bring it, Matthew.
Yeah, bring it.
I'll fight you.
Sorry, repeat what you said. I got distracted with that.
I just said, I think the latest.
Oh, Fire Emblem did better. Odyssey got reviewed pretty damn high.
You know, apparently, like Odyssey, like Nick says, sometimes just an okay game. I was reading like this article about on Polygon about like games that haven't done well, like don't have longevity. Odyssey was in there. You know what else was in there, which I disagree with. So who knows how? I guess this article is very subjective.
I mean, it's opinionated piece, right?
BioShock Infinite. Apparently, BioShock 1 is better than Infinite, which is not
Yes.
true.
Hand down.
Okay, you know, whatever. Apparently, BioShock Infinite is too linear, and too combat focused. Like, what? Doesn't make any sense to me.
No gun wheel.
And the story is just
No gun wheel.
Yeah, no gun wheel.
That was a huge downgrade for me when I played Infinite.
It was only 2 weapons in Infinite?
Yeah. That was like my one. I still think Infinite was an amazing game, but that was like one of my complaints.
Except Infinite had the best gun in the entire series so far. The single shot, like DMR style bolt action gun. It was like a foul, like the FFL. Whatever. The repeater, I think it was called.
Okay. Didn't have the wheel.
No. Whatever.
I mean, I don't think Odyssey is going to go down as like the greatest Super Mario game. Like, I think people are always going to refer to Galaxy and 64 as like the kings in Super Mario world. Sunshine was well received, but it's always kind of in the shadow of 64 as the sequel. People just thought it was underwhelming compared to 64, so it kind of, even though it's an amazing game, gets kind of, you know, looked at as lower because of what it was a follow up to, like the pinnacle of Mario.
I think Odyssey's
still a fantastic game,
and I think it's a good stepping point because they do so many things in Odyssey that
they introduce a lot of new
Mario
mechanics
didn't
that
do
was nice.
New Donk City and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
But yeah, Fire Emblem has definitely like solidified its place as one of the best franchises on Nintendo, especially now that they've had such a good release with a home console version of the game. Because for the longest time, especially in the West, this was a handheld dominant series. Like we hadn't had one since I think the Wii on console.
Was that Awakening?
No, Awakening was 3DS. I think it was
Dawn?
Radiant Dawn or something.
Okay.
So like we're talking like 2008 maybe.
2008.
So that's a long time.
2000 and late.
But
what's that song? How's it go? Who's that song by?
I don't know.
It's by Fergie and her band of
Black
Will
Eyed
I Am.
Peas?
That's who it is. Black Eyed Peas.
That's such a bad line. Anyway, so
Right, don't get us copyrighted, okay?
what?
No copyright strikes for that.
Do you think we get copyright strike for that? Probably not. Probably
hope
be,
not.
like,
Not with
actually
our
saying-
terrible rendition of it.
Yeah, no.
Parodies.
Exactly. It's fair use.
This next announcement, I immediately thought of this guy, and he actually talked about it. He's pretty happy. Divinity Original Sin
Oh yeah.
got
I gotta
a
play this
Shadow
game.
Drop ported to the Switch with cross save.
Yeah, cross
Which
link
is
with
huge.
Shadow
just
Drop?
Steam. I
Like
say,
it just came out, like no announcement. It's just like coming out today.
What Shadow Drop?
That's what I mean. Like, it's just,
Oh,
like,
that's what
nobody's
a Shadow
expecting it.
Drop
Just
is.
boom.
So
That's a cool term
Division
for
Original
it.
Sin 2, probably one of the best modern CRPGs ever.
What's a CRPG?
The computer role playing game or classic role playing game, how do you want to call it?
I think classic might be the thing.
What's really cool about this version is that Brett said it's cross save with Steam save files. So like if you're playing on Steam and
It's actually sick.
This is what Overwatch should have done.
you're
Heading
playing,
out of the house.
going for a nice session, like gotta go somewhere, gotta take the bus, something, whatever. Don't need to stop playing. You just
Yep,
fucking
exactly.
save the game, turn your switch on, and you're good to go.
That's actually really cool.
My only concern is like, can you only do the cross save stuff when you're connected to the internet?
I mean, I'm sure it's like
That would suck
it's
because
like it'll probably have a cloud save that you can upload.
I would
to the
hope
cloud
that's
or
like-
download from the cloud.
It's like you can download it and then move on, and then when you get back on
You
the
can
internet
upload it.
connection, you can upload it again,
Yeah.
and like it saves.
Hopefully it's like that.
I had to read up into it, but like I'm considering getting. It's like $60 something bucks. I'm just like I need to save money for Destiny 2 Shadowkeep
wait for a sale. Might go
True.
on sale. I mean,
on the
no,
Switch.
hey, you might get like 5% off, dude. Their winter sales can be crazy.
No, but I think this is like it's this is probably one of the best RPGs like ever
Play it.
made.
Next time it
Probably.
goes on sale on Steam, I
It's
gotta
a
get it.
really the Divinity 1 and 2, like the new like the CRPG ones, they're really fucking good. Like they're some of the best games I've played.
This is one that you and Cameron played extra
Yeah,
life, right?
it's really good. Like the writing is on point, the gameplay is on point. The second one's all voice acted, I think.
That's cool.
So it's a really good game.
But this is what you need to do. If you're releasing a game that is a couple years old that people have already played on other platforms and you want them to come to your platform, let them carry their save files. Nobody wants to restart.
Wait, Overwatch is not universally like.
No.
Oh,
I don't even like consoles. On
Yeah,
PC,
even
it's
consoles,
not.
but at least those came out at the same time. But
Yeah.
like there's so many anniversary events and like other event skins that you unlocked. Why would you want to
Years
just
ago.
restart
It'd be
on
so
Switch?
easy for us to do because you just make one ballot on that account and it can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just don't know
Like,
why they do it. Like
Sure, you're gonna get new people, but most people have already played Overwatch who wanted to in the last 3 years.
Yep.
Anyways, I mean,
No, I agree.
I think that's a weird decision. So yeah, that got announced. Doom 64 got announced as getting a re-release. So the first time anyone's been able to play this since on the 64 is coming out ahead of Doom Eternal. It's just kind of like a way to get hyped. Not the 64 game I wanted, but this is proof that 64 games can be made and work with the Switch. Give me Star Fox 64. Give me GoldenEye. Give me Banjo-Kazooie. Give me all the great stuff because, man, that's such a good library.
You know what we should do? We should play that Steam remake of GoldenEye that we downloaded.
I played it with my brother, yeah.
Okay.
It's actually pretty fun.
Okay.
And it's
fair.
pretty accurate to the original game.
Fair.
Feels good. It's weird playing a shooter that doesn't have jump. Like,
oh yeah, it doesn't have jump.
no. It is weird because every shooter has jumping nowadays. So like playing that game and you just can't jump. It's like, what the hell's going on? It doesn't feel like bad if you get used to it, but just it's like you don't find
Yeah.
shooters that have that limited
No, not
mobility
really.
anymore, right? And it's just another quality of life as genres have adapted and grown. Okay, so this next announcement triggered me super hard.
Why?
So when they announced this direct, they said we're going to show you off lots of games, including Luigi's Mansion and Pokemon. So when
Uh-huh.
you read that, you go, okay, they're going to have announcements, but they're going to be focusing on those two games that they mentioned, or else why would they mention them? Luigi's Mansion got like 45 seconds worth of information. That was it, which was like, okay, that's fine, but like,
They want you to know the game's coming out.
yeah,
first.
they're like, this game's coming out. Here's a new multiplayer mode, and here's what one of the stages look like. But like, it was a lot of information that if you watched the Treehouse stuff from E3, you already kind of knew. And then Pokemon, they're like, we are here to reveal 4 new features of Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, you've got a lot of fans who are against you right now with the National Dex issue. This is where you can show some cool new features and you know get people excited for this game.
Curry some favor with the fans.
So the first one, I heard what you did. First one, customization, and they go into a lot of detail. You can change your haircut. You can change like different outfits, different poses. So again, it seems like okay, this customization you've seen everything, but when you're comparing it to what old Pokemon games had, where all you could do was change like 3 different pieces of apparel, this is big. You can like actually customize your
That's
character,
actually really cool.
how they look to make it more like you, which
Or like you
everyone
want,
wants in a
yeah.
game, or like you want, right? So I was like, okay, cool. They've really invested in this customization. This is looking good. The second one they show is this thing called Pokemon Camp, and essentially you can set up a tent or whatever, and your Pokemon can be out in the wild, and you can engage with them and like whatever. And Nintendo Game Freak has done this with a lot of their games, where like buddy system with Pokemon and playing with Pokemon, because some people enjoy that, and it's like, okay, that's fine. You go in there, you give them berries, get them happy, they'll be better in battle. You can maybe this is a way of like boosting their IVs, because they've had other mini games that have boosted IVs, so maybe this is like a way of doing that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I probably won't play this too much, but that's a cool feature. Then the third one came along, and I honestly could not believe this was real. Like, oh my god,
was it actually the third one that did all this, or was it the fourth one?
That was the third one.
Did you rewatch it to be sure?
No, I will never rewatch that. So they announced a feature called Curry on Rice. Okay, what this is you get to make curry on rice dishes, different variations, and I believe, I haven't rewatched it because I can't bring myself to do it, but I believe they said 100 recipes
Yeah.
that your Pokemon can enjoy.
So you and your Pokemon.
You and your Pokemon.
Nice.
First of all, should your pets be having curry on rice?
Yes.
I feel like you should go to the pet store and get proper food for that.
No, curry on rice.
Second of all, you tell everyone that development is, you have limited time. It's a lot of work to do the animations, and that's why you had to cut Pokemon. How much time did you take making 100 recipes of curry? You couldn't have made like two more Pokemon come in the
Two more.
decks.
Would have been worth it if it was just two
I
more.
would take one over this stupid mechanic. I'm sorry, but who plays Pokemon to cook curry dishes and feed it? No, you don't. Don't lie to yourself. And I apologize to anyone who gets offended by this. Maybe there's some people who thought this feature looks cool, but like, what the hell? This is a Pokemon game. This isn't Cooking Mama. We don't need to be making
Cookie
100 versions of curry on rice with sausage or whatever the hell else they showed for your Pokemon. Like,
I'm sorry.
and I don't understand, because there's no way Nintendo could be like, yo,
Maybe
we have new features in this game. This is the one that we need to show the people to get them back on our side. This is the feature that we need to show them. Look, we cut development time on making new Pokemon so we can bring you this sick feature. This is not it. This is the feature you don't mention, and then when it comes in the game and people see it, you're like, oh yeah, we did make that too.
pleasantly surprised.
But you don't want to be like, yo, we made this. Like, that's something you hide in the game and hope that people enjoy it. This is not your selling point. So yeah, I was excited to see, what they were going to show. And again, this doesn't change my excitement for the game. I'm still going to get it, but it's just like,
hey,
that ain't it.
did you see some of the visual improvements? Apparently, I saw some comparison
game
screenshots.
Looks
much better than
the
some
game
of
looks incredible. They have like skyboxes. Like, that's something it's always been like looking down at the ground. Like, the game, as much as people want to joke about it, the game looks the best any Pokemon games looked like by far. But what the fuck is curry on rice? Why?
It's a dish that you can eat
Oh, thanks, Nick.
with your Pokemon.
In 100 different ways.
Yeah.
That's great.
Isn't it great?
It's great. It's great.
Great.
And then they ended off with showing 2 new Pokemon, which is good.
Actually, one more thing about Pokemon.
Yeah.
One of the features, Pokemon Camp apparently reuses animations exactly from a previous Pokemon game where you can like pet them or something like that.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
This is a little mini game where you interact with your Pokemon. Like, if you get mad at a company for reusing a hop animation in like a little mini game, like, you're nitpicking at that point, in my opinion.
True. I agree. I wasn't nitpicking.
Yeah.
So.
And again, like, you have every right to do that, but to me, that doesn't bother me. Curry on rice bothers me. What do you do, Game
What
Freak?
what if this is just a game mode that blows your
You know,
mind?
maybe this is like the
This is very triggering.
the
for
innovative
Bratty.
move that Game Freak needed to make. Would you say?
You don't want to know. He
Okay.
said.
I'm glad. Maybe this is the move that Game Freak needs to make Pokemon evolve. Maybe Curry on Rice is the next hit. But 99.9% of me says no, it's not.
Probably not.
So I was kind of disappointed with that. Then we got the announcement that everyone knew was going to happen. SNES games coming to online membership. And they actually loaded up 20 games that came out the day after the Direct, so on the 5th. And
some of those
I don't have
games?
all 20 written down,
You have some?
but they have a lot of the big ones.
Okay.
You've got Link to the Past, which is
yeah.
arguably...
Hold on. You there. You watching the stream right now, and be listening to this later on. If you don't play Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, which in my opinion, the best Legend of Zelda game made of all time, you're doing yourself a disservice. So go get your Switch Online membership. Go download an SNES emulator. Start playing that game immediately. Do it right now. Yeah.
This message brought to you by Nick.
Hey, I was going to say, Pete, you got it. Yeah, so people, like, when you're talking about best Zelda, it's either that or Ocarina, probably, right?
Yeah.
So they added that, which is huge. They added Star Fox. Let's go. I mean, the Super Nintendo Star Fox is like...
Super Metroid 2.
Yeah, so they added Super Metroid, which I think people view as one of the best Metroid games as well, right?
Would save Brad from my wrath forever.
It did, because we had an agreement that Nick would stop calling Star Fox a dead series if they showed any Metroid
So
announcements.
Is
so
it
that
now
counts.
Star Citizen? That's the dead series?
Metroid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause where's Prime 4, baby? Nowhere.
I'm sorry, Matthew,
Exactly.
but I'm happy that Nick's no longer bothering me. They have Mario Kart, Super Mario World. The one they didn't have, which kind of made me sad, was Donkey Kong Country, because I love that game. But they're gonna add more. But yeah, so they have a lot of like the big flagship games for the system, which was nice to have released right away. Matthew's Reen. I'm gonna for sure probably play Link to the Past first, especially because this guy praises it so much.
And I gave you my Game Boy that has the
I
game
know.
too.
But so many games keep coming out. I just like so many games to play.
Just
Nick.
just play it. It's on the Switch now.
I know, I will. But Gears 5 just came out.
Yeah, but like
The
you're
Swarm
done-
aren't gonna kill themselves.
Is Link to the Past the one where you wake up in like a rainstorm?
Yeah.
Okay, that one is a great game.
You played it?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So, that alone huge. And with this announcement, they announced a wireless SNES controller that's made for the Switch for $30 US. So it's not too pricey.
That's
but
pretty good.
yeah, that you can get. You don't need it to play these games, but if you want that more
Yeah.
authentic feel,
That's
so
actually really cool.
I was looking at it and I was like, I don't need this, but God, I just want this.
Do you know the best part about those controllers is how the buttons feel to me?
Yeah,
There's nothing that replicates the A and B, and I guess there's a SNES one, so the 6 buttons or whatever that has 6 buttons, right? The SNES controller.
does it have 6?
I think it does, and it has maybe not, but I think it has quite
I
a
can't
few.
remember.
Doesn't have just the
It
2.
has start and select
it
in
has
the middle.
ABYX,
Okay, so 4.
whereas the NES had AB.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's 4. Then it has start and select down at the bottom, and then it's got
Which
the,
Nintendo thing had 6 buttons?
is it a third party take on it?
No. Does it not have bumpers either?
It does have. It has bumpers.
Yeah, my
So maybe it does have 6.
okay.
I can't remember.
Who
We have
knows?
phones. We can look it up. Then they announced AC4 and Rogue remakes for the Switch. So following after they did 3, this to me is a much better package than 3. 3 was a good game, but 4 and Rogue with the open world and naval combat are some of like the best Assassin's Creed games out there. Obviously, the newer 2 that have come out have kind of like surpassed and made Assassin's Creed evolve into a whole new thing. But out of like the original ones before they changed the formula, I'd say these 2 are some of the best, especially 4. 4 is just a fantastic game.
Speaking of Assassins, if you've watched John Wick 3, they go
Yeah.
a little bit into like
Of course I watched
the
it.
origin of like the Hashashin and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. It kind of like connects a little bit to like Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Not really though, but like
a little bit.
Assassin's Creed. No, fuck John Wick 3 is fantastic.
4 buttons.
Yeah, it has two controllers.
Yeah.
Buttons.
Probably the Genesis controller, maybe.
Yeah.
The Ethan
Ethan's
looking it up.
I also
yes.
watched a video by Scott the Waz. Have you guys seen him?
No.
He used to like doing a whole thing about like third-party controllers, and there was like a bunch of ones that were made for older systems that like added extra buttons that did stupid things, turbo settings and crap.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I remember
Yeah.
those.
So, then a game that you played, Dauntless,
Mm.
got announced for the Switch, which is a
I think it's a great
free-to-play game, right?
for Switch. That'd be such a fun. Yeah, it is a free play game.
So I might just give it a shot, try it out. You said it was bootleg Monster Hunter.
Pretty much.
Now,
It's like-
do you mean that in like a really derogatory? Like, are you saying the game sucks, or it's just
No.
a Monster Hunter light, but it's still kind of fun?
It's Monster Hunter Light, basically.
Okay.
What do you mean by light? Because I've never played Monster Hunter.
It's like
Probably Monster Hunter is pretty like detailed in like the gear and grind.
Yeah,
and, like,
this is
RPG,
like-
right?
it's like a westernized Monster Hunter. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
A little more cartoony, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way more cartoony.
Yeah. So I might try it out again. I say that, but there's so many games that like I want to try everything, but
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to. Then we got a bit of an update on Animal Crossing. Again, they showed similar to Luigi's Mansion. They showed mostly what they had already showed at the Treehouse. If you watch that
Mhm.
post E3,
You know, Pocket Camp makes them so much money.
yeah. I don't play that game anymore, but that game was fun for the first few months that I played.
And then
I
it became
thought
like
was
the
really
loot
fun.
box
Remember
simulator.
Ophelia
So
got addicted to
She
it.
passed all of us so fast in
Yeah.
that game. I remember we were hanging
Yeah.
out one time and we asked what level, and she said her
Like
level, and everyone's
60?
like, "What the?"
Yeah.
I'm still like level 21 or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I
fill up.
think what level did I even? I think I got to like 30 something.
I think I stopped like way earlier than you guys did. So
I did
I
the
mean,
Christmas. I
that's
grinded out the
per
Christmas
usual.
event and got every piece of Christmas.
Yeah,
like,
that's insane.
furniture and clothing because I was super addicted, and then I haven't played since then, and that was like 2 Christmases.
Yeah.
But and then they ended off with a pretty big announcement for some people: Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
For Ian, I guess.
Or yeah, as soon as I saw it, Ian. If anybody watches the professional or ex-professional Smash Player Zero, he has a very funny clip because apparently he's a huge Xenoblade fan, and there's like a minute clip of him just like losing his shit, like falling on the floor, freaking out. It's pretty funny. This is a series that like I've heard a lot of praise, a lot from Ian, but even just from reviews and
I've
even
never
like
played it.
the second game, but I've never played it, and I mean it's a Wii game, so
Is this the new one with like the anime girl with the black hair? Or is that not Xenoblade?
this is a remake of the original one.
Oh, but
Yeah.
there's a new Xenoblade coming
There's
out.
a Xenoblade 2 that's already out.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is already out
Is
on
that
the Switch.
is that the black haired anime girl?
No,
It's
she's
like that huge spear and not the spear, but she's a demon or something. What game is that?
Tales of
Ah,
Berseria.
maybe Tales of something. Yeah, I think that would be a Tales game.
Yeah.
You were
Okay.
pretty hyped about that, right?
Yeah, the new Tales game that
Yeah.
they showed off at E3 that Microsoft showed. Yeah, that looks
Okay.
cool. But yeah, it's always been like a series that I've looked at and thought, oh, that's cool, but never played. With them bringing a definitive edition, which it looks so much better. I didn't realize how bad the Wii version
Oh yeah,
looked.
I saw the comparisons. Like,
Oh, it looked rough. Like 64 graphics.
Dude, the
rough.
Wii wasn't that strong.
And on top of that, I was talking to Ian about this because Ian was saying like everything about this game is amazing except for its look, and he said because the game is just so big, and the Wii couldn't handle
Sure,
graphics.
that makes
but
sense.
like character models and stuff, like oh my
apparently
god.
even in this, they're adding in areas they cut out from the original game.
Yeah, because
That's cool.
one of the scenes they showed people, because people were doing comparison shots, and one of the scenes they showed, they're like, well, we can't actually get there in this game, but this is kind of where that area is to give you the comparison. Looks cool, coming out sometime in 2020, hopefully early. And for a series that I wanted to get into, I might actually start with this game, depending on how much they price that. I'm hoping it's not full price, but it is a definitive edition, so they might
Yeah, it might be.
they might be able to get away with charging
Might
full
be.
price. You can also get the first game on the 3DS, but I don't know if it looks better or worse than the Wii, but it doesn't look that good. And that was the direct. Pretty solid overall. We didn't get Metroid news, which I hoped we would. Obviously didn't get Star Fox news because that's just never coming out.
Do you think
but-
Nintendo will ever have a new IP soon?
Well, they just got Astral Chain. It's
But, like,
Platinum Games, but it's exclusive
I
to
mean,
the Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it.
You think Nintendo themselves will
Yeah.
make one?
But do you think does Platinum own the IP or does Nintendo own the IP?
True. Who knows?
Probably Platinum,
Yeah, I think that's
but it's
probably true.
exclusive, right? Oh, because you think they could just release it later? Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they have all their
Hmm.
bases covered. So they
The thing is,
really-
like Nintendo's IPs sell like crazy, and they
Yeah.
have unused ones. Star Fox.
true.
So it's like there's no urgency
Yeah,
for them
yeah.
to develop a new one. It'd be cool though. I'm all for seeing what they could come up with, but Nintendo's been able to kind of reinvent their IPs every generation, make it feel new and fresh, even though it's the same thing, like Breath of the Wild and
My
Super
one
Mario
problem
games. So
with Nintendo stuff is that it doesn't grow. I'm getting older. I don't I want to play less childish games sometimes.
you gotta remember, Nintendo is
Yeah, what can you
They're a
do?
toy company.
so their target audience. I mean, I still think some of their games have a bit of
Sure.
grit to them,
Sure.
but yeah, they
don't know.
definitely still have the childish charm. But the new generation kids want to be able to experience what we got to as kids, right? So,
My issue with Nintendo is that there's like this like the Nintendo effect, where like it seems like it can do no wrong.
I feel like
peop-
more and more people are
and
picking up on that
and
though.
people give them a pass for absolutely everything. Not everything, but like that's what it seems like sometimes.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do, but I also see something that Matthew wrote in chat, and I'm very upset with him.
I mean, like doesn't matter right now. Matthew was a fan of the Dead series Metroid.
That's
So
true. Metroid's dead, Matthew.
yeah, like where's Prime 4, buddy?
I was gonna be nice to you, but nah.
Where's Prime 4?
dare you.
Yeah, look at you, Matthew. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Where is it?
Get to work.
Yeah, I could.
I want to see
could do
Nintendo
that.
try their hand at, because I feel like they have a penchant for telling stories, like Legend of Zelda, a game like that, but maybe, or even Metroid, just a little,
A little more rated M for mature.
yeah.
Kind of like
But
with the
the-
new Joker
Because
movie.
I feel like they tell
But
like
they won't.
they don't do gore for gore's
They
sake,
won't
you know.
let their IPs. They will not let their IPs pass that E
Sure.
for everyone rating.
Exactly, which is why I want something new, but
But
from the
that's not-
same storytellers.
But they're not gonna do that though.
Mm.
That's not Nintendo's like
Yeah,
MO.
you're right. You're right. I wish they did.
That's not gonna happen.
Maybe we see a thing where they lend out their IP for another company to do that, but then
Star
I guess they
Fox.
still wouldn't want their
Imagine
IP
a mature
associated
Star
with that.
Fox. What would that even look like?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably even then, like what Nick said, they probably just wouldn't want their IP associated. Even if they're not making the games, they don't want
Makes sense.
to get rid of their
Yeah.
target audience. But I still think they're doing well with what they got. So,
For sure.
do we go on to some news?
Wasn't that
mean, that
part of
was
the
news.
news?
Well, that was like our thoughts on I guess it's still kind of news.
Yeah.
Let's go on to more news. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hit me,
All
Run
right.
over some things.
baby, one more time.
You say?
Run over some things.
Gotcha.
What else did you think I said?
I don't know. Dude, I'm stuffed up and got allergy brain right now. I don't know what's going So SK Telecom, which is a
South
Is it- are
Korean
they, like,
telecom
the
company.
biggest
Apparently, it doesn't
company?
stand for South Korea Telecom.
I said they're a South Korean telecom company.
are
Apparently, it
they
doesn't
are
stand
they
for
the
that.
biggest in Korea?
I don't know.
They're
think-
they're
I
a
don't know
big
much.
I think KT might be bigger.
okay.
Yep.
So they're one of the big companies.
Because
out
whenever
there.
SKT and KT played in the LCK, they called Telecom Wars.
True.
Yep.
So they're one of the big players in Korea, and they just signed a partnership with Microsoft to bring 5G based cloud gaming to South Korea.
I'm not sold on 5G.
No?
Apparently, there's like studies that it's like super dangerous,
In what ways?
like the radiation.
Really?
It's not like it's just being pushed by telecom, and there's like detrimental effects and stuff.
Well, our whole generation is basically like we're guinea pigging. Yeah. These.
Agreed.
We don't know what the long term effects of having these so close to our
Mm-hmm.
crotch does, or girls who have them in their
Tits.
bras. Like we're basically gonna find out what the long term effects of this shit is when we get older.
Yep.
Which is kind of scary to think about because we're just
Little bit.
okay with this, right? We're okay
Little
with
bit.
shoving these in our pockets or in our tops and don't really think what could happen. But in 20 years, we could find out that everyone who's been doing this has got like cancer or some other thing.
Alright,
Have
we're
you seen that
getting
movie?
Too deep here.
Children of Men. Is that I think it's called Children of?
Is that like where the movie where like everybody's sterile or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, great movie.
Is that because of cell phones?
I don't know why, but
Oh,
for
okay.
whatever reason, like fertility rates drop, and no one can have a kid.
Part in that life.
It's funny they deal with sterile humans in the second trilogy Gears of War, and they kind of mention like how they get around it in Gears 5.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Cool.
Because you kind of know in Gears like I think 2 and 3 that Anya Stroud is sterile. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Pretty cool.
interesting, but yeah, moving on.
So, I mean, this is cool to see that Microsoft is working with them to try and bring their xCloud service, which is where you stream games. Obviously, it's going to require a lot of mobile data power, right? So you're going to need to have good signal and everything. The only thing that worries me is it's going to start bringing like exclusive games to like providers. Like, are we going to see like you can only play
Yes.
Microsoft games if you're a Bell client versus
Yes.
a Rogers client and crap? Like, obviously,
Yes.
this isn't in Canada right now, but
Yes.
I don't think so.
This is how the mega.
I
stores
hope
take
no,
over.
because Microsoft has been pushing away from exclusivity by giving away their IPs, like lending them out, and by bringing their stuff to multiple platforms. But it's still the thought in the back of my mind that scares me.
I think this partnership is just Microsoft putting their foot in South Korean markets.
yeah,
I don't think this.
I like to hope that's what that is, but the back of my mind always has like the worst case scenario.
No, but like I feel like that is the first step to that.
I don't
First,
think it
Microsoft
is.
goes South Korea, and then they go to this country, and they go to this country, and they go to this country.
I
and they
don't
go to this
think it
country,
is.
and then they're everywhere. And then
I'd be okay with that. I like Microsoft.
you like them now.
True.
I've always liked them, even their bad stages.
Yeah.
Always liked them better than Apple.
I just thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter to us living in Canada, but
Mhm.
for anyone in North Korea or South Korea, freaking awesome. The next thing is something that Ethan definitely is not fond of, and I'm interested to hear your opinions on this. So Nintendo has filed for a new patent. This doesn't mean they're making this. It just
No.
means they're filed for the patent for a hinged Joy-Con. So for anyone who wants to know what it looks like, basically you have the Joy-Con, but the top like third is angled at like a 45.
So is
off
it
of
just angled and fixed, or is it movable?
Like the drawings look like it might have been fixed,
Okay.
but let's
But
just
if,
say it
if
can
they
be.
say hinged, I would assume that it moves.
Yeah, so let's just say it is movable. So it can go from the 90-degree to having the top part go at a 45.
Mhm.
So on the left Joy-Con, you'd have your thumbstick as part of the slanted part. On the right Joy-Con, you would have the buttons,
Buttons or D-pad?
the A, B, Y, X.
Yeah.
So Ethan did not like the idea. I want to ask both of you. Either of you guys can start. What do you think about this compared to regular Joy-Cons, and do you think this is something that Nintendo should pursue as a controller?
Maybe there's some weird ergonomics behind it that we don't know.
Do you think it'd be comfortable?
I'd have to hold it to try it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm all for experimentation.
I personally think they could be done well. Like I feel like having your thumbs like up here could be comfortable, but the main thing that Ethan had as a
I don't think
concern,
so. It's
and
such
I
a
do,
weird
is
stretch.
the fact that the joysticks aren't together. you'd have one that's at the 45 with the hinge, and then one that's still flat. I feel like that would be kind of weird. Maybe if they did a variation where both joysticks are on the hinged part and the buttons are down below, so that you've got the joysticks up here.
What if it hinges all the way over, and then you can use like your right index
How do
finger
you trigger though?
Hmm?
How would you trigger?
The triggers.
somehow? Or what if it
You'd
goes all
find
the
a
way
way.
the other way as well, and it kind of like
Like it
leans
folds
inward?
in?
Yeah.
So,
Or what if the hinges are like this?
the pictures had it just
Yeah.
going forward. It looks like an idea. I don't know.
It's an idea.
It's an
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
It's an
I think that's a good way to
idea.
put it.
We were talking about this before the podcast. We were looking at the 64 controller that we have on the wall. I don't think it's in shot, but Nintendo has been known to make interesting controllers. A lot of them hit,
Interesting.
a lot of them miss.
Yeah.
So if they do make this, I'd be interested to try. Like Nick said, it definitely you don't get a full idea until you hold it. It could work, but it also could feel really freaking weird.
Eh.
Also, I'd be worried about like them getting damage from the
It
hinge,
also
too.
might never come out.
Yeah,
Of course. Yeah.
just
so.
a pet. But I'd be worried about the hinge because even with the 3DS, like the screen eventually would loosen to the point where like some people you held it like this, it would just close on itself because the hinge just like lost its ability to hold it in place. And I'd be worried that the same
I would
thing would
fiddle
happen.
with mine, kind of just like.
You're probably the people who made like
Yep.
sped that process along.
Yep.
So the same thing could happen to these Joy-Cons, which would be something to worry about. But anyways, I just figured it'd be interesting to talk about that. You linked some news regarding Last of Us 2.
They have that
getting
entire.
a media event on the
Yeah.
24th of this month.
I am excited.
So I guess this will be the last bit of information, maybe gameplay that we get to see before this game comes out.
Maybe.
I need it. I don't even have a PS4, so I don't know why I'm getting hyped for this game because as soon as it comes out, I'm not gonna be
You know
able
what
to
we
touch
should
it.
do?
But
We should rent a PS4.
can you do that?
Yeah. And then we should play.
You have one. That's right.
I've told
You want us to rent it off of you?
told you just borrow.
Yeah, but
my-
you'll be playing Last of Us 2 when
Yeah.
it comes out.
I mean, I'll beat it and you can touch it.
That's true, but I want it on launch, Nick.
If
Day
there's-
1, minute
yo,
1, second 1.
If there's split screen co-op.
No.
No, what?
Last of Us is literally a narrative.
It's a single player narrative game. It's
Yeah, but I don't mind.
I
you know,
do.
you know my.
I need
opinion
my
on that.
immersion.
My
I need to
my
be immersed
my
into that
brain is
game.
big enough to handle a person sitting beside me playing.
Mine is too small. I have tiny brain.
I know.
See? He knows.
Wow. Rude as fuck.
I need 'cause
I've known Brad long enough to
if I'm-
determine that.
if I'm gonna get emotional, I don't need you beside me seeing my tears. I need that personal moment with me
True.
and or somebody else's
Yeah.
PlayStation 4.
I can be open and vulnerable and emotional in front of other people.
I can, but like
Well, you're my friend, not in front
it
of everyone.
ruins
but,
ruins
like,
the moment, you know what I mean?
I can understand that.
Like when I'm watching like really sad shows, I don't want to watch it with other people.
No,
Especially people like Normal who watch you instead of the show.
I would.
Watching a TV show and something will happen on screen. This guy's staring at me. I see him in my peripheral. He's like staring at me, just looking at my reaction. I'm like, watch the freaking show.
Yeah,
Stop
that's
looking
weird.
at me. You're making me feel uncomfortable. But yeah, I
Do we have a release date for the game yet?
don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't think so.
Is it supposed to be? It's not supposed to be this year, right? It's early next year.
I think so.
I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Ethan's
think this
gonna
might
look it up
reveal
for
the
us.
release date.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sony's doing a PSX this year. So
Yeah. Have they said? I don't think they've said.
no, I
anything.
think they're yeah.
early 2020.
So this might be like here's the last bit of the game you'll see before we release it in
Yeah.
March of
And here's the official
whatever.
release date. Man, if they launch it in March with like Cyberpunk and stuff, it's gonna be a busy
Good
month.
luck.
You know Sony won't care.
That's true.
Sony's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
And-
we'll go up against
And it doesn't
Cyberpunk.
matter because Last of Us will sell because the first game has been.
It'll probably.
There are
sell
also
Cyberpunk.
two different games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like
that's true. Then you linked a trailer from Tokyo Game Show, I believe. This
Yeah.
new Project Resistance game.
it's like a survival co-ops set in Resident Evil universe where it looks like you play as a 4-player squad, go up against I don't know if it's waves enemies or like a room enemies, like you kind of like a Left 4 Dead thing. But then there's also one player who's like planting enemies, traps, and you have to control the bosses.
Yeah, so it kind of gives me like a
Evolve or
Evolve or a Left 4
Yeah.
Dead kind of
Or
vibe.
even the horde mode where you could be the swarm or whatever, be the horde.
Yeah, in
don't know what
Gears
it's called.
3. It looks kind of cool.
I mean, it was a cinematic trailer, so like it's
Yeah,
It
it's
is what it
designed.
is.
It's designed to look cool.
I'd have to see like actual gameplay to be like, all right, yeah, I see you.
I just feel like a lot of these games, they don't have the longevity to like keep people interested. You know, like
Yep.
you go, you play it, and you're like, okay, I've played this game. There's no like reason to continue. Left 4 Dead was different because it that wasn't the only mode. Like you had the actual cooperative mode. They just had like the multiplayer.
It's also
mode where
like the
people
first of its kind Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Evolve, that was like the big thing. Like like when that game was first coming out, like everyone was talking about it. Like Evolve looks amazing. You get to be this massive creature, and then like a month later, the game went free to play because they were just like not selling copies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then even then, I think they stopped doing support for it because
Yep.
even free to play, the players weren't there. So I don't expect this to be like this. I don't think. Is it Capcom making it?
I don't know. I have
Whoever's
no
making
idea.
it, I don't think this is supposed to be like the next Resident Evil thing. This is definitely a side project, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll land. It might be just like
Mm-hmm.
a fun game you play for a little bit, but I don't know if it'll stick the
Free to
landing.
start.
Oh my!
I don't think one thing I
Ugh.
didn't post, but I want to mention Call of Duty multiplayer open beta is coming after.
Yeah.
Yes. Open beta.
Well, after the PS4, it's coming to
And after the pre-order beta.
whatever. Eventually, it will come to Xbox and PC.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's
So-
like they already had the pre-order beta that was PS4 only.
That was the 2v2 alpha.
Or alpha, sorry. Then they have next weekend, or this coming weekend, I think,
Yeah.
is the PS4 only. So on Friday, either Thursday or Friday, you get it if you pre-ordered, and then Saturday, Sunday, you
Is
get it
the PS4.
if you just have a PS4. Then the following weekend, that Thursday or Friday, you get it if you pre-ordered it on other systems or if you have PS4. And then that Saturday and Sunday, it's open to all other platforms.
Yep.
I don't have plans on pre-ordering this game, but I definitely would like to try the beta. So I'll be downloading
yeah.
it on the weekend,
I want to see what this
2
game's
weekends from now, to give it a shot and see what it's
like.
like.
If this game feels
because
anything like Modern Warfare 1 or 2, I'm right
minus
there.
the
I
perk
hope it doesn't
abuse.
feel like 2.
Yep.
Minus the perk abuse. The game itself
weren't
was
that
fun,
different.
but
Modern Warfare 1 and
it
2.
was just all the gimmicks they threw into 2
Yeah.
that made 2 feel so
Shit.
over the top. Really? You think it was shit?
Modern Warfare 2 was like the
the
second worst
core
Modern
gameplay was
Warfare
like
game.
almost identical in my opinion.
Luckily, Modern Warfare 3 actually surpassed it in terms of being bad. Modern Warfare 2?
Modern Warfare 2 was a fantastic game.
No,
it
it was
just
not.
had
I
some.
think it was.
Not. Oh my god. All right.
It was
No.
amazing. It just
We're
had
not-
a couple OP things.
We're not getting into this. Modern Warfare 2 was a bad game. Let's move on.
A bad game.
You can't just say we're not getting
Just
into
a
this and then
bad
finish
game
off by
in
saying it's trash.
I just did.
Modern Warfare 2 is an amazing game. Moving on.
And like
Nice.
you're allowed to be wrong.
It's true. I am very often so.
So are you, Nick?
And then the last thing, something that I don't know if you're
Well-
excited about. Oh crap! No, I forgot the Borderlands.
It's all
thing.
right. Well, let's talk about the Cyberpunk
Okay.
2077 multiplayer stuff.
So they announced that they're starting to recruit for people to try multiplayer. No,
See, I don't mind having
Are you-
multiplayer in my narrative-based game. I play Dungeons and Dragons. I can do narrative experiences with other people.
but I don't think it's going to be the game multiplayer. I think multiplayer is going to be its own mode. The
I
way
hope
they're
it's
talking about it.
Well, then
Because the way they talked about it was that they're releasing the game single player only, then they're releasing DLC plus single player content.
Yep.
Then the multiplayer
Yeah.
comes out. I'm looking at this multiplayer more like GTA Online, GTA 5 Online, more than co-op.
sure, actually, yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from what they're saying. Would that be something that you would play? Would you play like a multiplayer, like
Sure.
with a whole bunch of people in the Cyberpunk world?
Yeah.
You play something like that?
Yeah. If it's got MTX, no.
Hate to break it to you, but GTA 5 Online was flooded with that
Yep.
stuff.
Shark cards, baby.
Yeah.
So if it's anything like that, probably not.
Yeah.
But if I can be my dude and set up like some hacker network and hack. I don't know.
Is that how people hack?
Yeah. I
They
actually
just-
don't know.
They just do this and say hack.
Yeah. I actually don't know what kind of character I'm gonna make yet in that game.
Do you have any ideas at all, or literally nothing?
No. Just see what comes to me in the moment.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Fair.
I hope there's like missions, like co-op missions.
Were there in online?
I'm just
GTA Online?
Yeah.
They eventually added in heists.
Okay. Right. They were heists. That's what
I'm
it
just
was.
fiending for co-op narrative gameplay, and no games are doing it, and it bothers me so much.
Yours says co-op.
There's a narrative to it.
True. Well, no one to play with too is that's a problem. So, all my friends are apparently. You've already beaten the game for the first time. It's
Yeah.
different.
So I'll play it with you.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
You want us to go through it together, like the first time?
Yeah, obviously.
You've come to the wrong person. He knows that every Destiny expansion. All right, Brad, do the missions now. I'll do it by myself.
Really?
Yeah. He hates me for it.
Okay. Whatever, man.
I'm weird. Let me be weird.
I don't think
Like
you're
Destiny
weird.
is
It's
the
just,
only one I give a shit about.
Yeah.
it just doesn't make
'Cause
sense.
it's just like just like
he's
like,
literally like
there's
a
like-
guardian in
there's
the
like
game.
3
He's
cut-
on your
there's
fire
like,
team.
like 3 cutscenes the entire game, and I will be silent through every single one of them.
It's not even about being silent. Like, what makes you so apprehensive to play with other people? I don't get it. Like,
I don't know. I'm weird. That's all I got. Let me.
no, just try. I
It's
feel
like
like I feel like you haven't tried it, and you maybe had a bad experience or something. You all got some trauma
It's
going
like
on.
Gears I can understand, but like when it comes to Destiny, I'm just like, yeah, there's a story, but like
Yeah, right.
whatever. Like, all
I'll
right,
tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll do Shadowkeep with you.
bullshit. But I don't fucking believe
That's
it.
I expected a
I don't
different
believe that
word to
either,
come out of
because
your
Shadowkeep is gonna be.
I
It's a
expected a
huge.
different B word to come out of your mouth.
It's a huge expansion.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Don't you want to go through
You're not
that?
gonna say that?
I'm not gonna say.
Don't
'cause
you
I
want
was
to
like, I don't
do that by
believe it.
yourself? That's apparently Shadowkeep's huge. It's gonna be like that.
You just told me that what I did is wrong, and now you try to talk me out of a decision.
Yeah,
to-
because I feel like you're going against your entire being. So
yeah, you told me freaking whatever. I'll try. I'll
Okay.
try for you goons.
cool.
I don't believe it.
Say the other word.
No, it's
Damn
like
it.
I just don't believe it.
All right, we'll see what happens October 1st.
I'll be home.
Yeah,
I'm home all day.
and we'll
I'm
play
at work.
together.
All right. The servers don't crash at 1 o'clock.
True. Oh God, I hope not.
The one
Destiny
shitty
launched
part
pretty
about
well with
that is that I
Forsaken.
won't know what happened in Forsaken. I'm gonna need to like.
But you don't need to. This is how they're doing it.
True. Okay.
I think they're all going to be standalone stories.
Cool,
Are you going to get Forsaken eventually?
Yeah.
Then I won't.
Well,
Well, just
you
say you
get
can just
to-
watch like a what happened, but if you're going to
I
play
might
it,
even just do that before.
Yeah. I mean, like Nick said, it's like there's a narrative, but it's not like a 10-hour like commitment to this like single player story. It's like a few cutscenes that
Yeah.
are bunched between Destiny styled missions.
Missions.
Although I will say that Forsaken is probably the best storytelling that Destiny's had.
So far.
The mission structure and everything just felt more like unique to what you were doing rather than, oh, you just have to run here, kill enemies, and then you get a cutscene.
Yep.
Like what you were doing in the mission still felt like it was driving the narrative.
I hate that my guardian doesn't talk.
Yeah. Oh, I hate silent.
They brought it
Goodness.
back in Forsaken a little bit.
A little bit. You say a couple things.
You actually say something, and
Yeah.
in year
Yeah.
one you don't say anything. So
Yeah. It was another thing that also kind of, that was my
your
one
ghost
complaint
speaks for
about
you.
Fire Emblem, was there were so many cutscenes that were like emotional, and then your character's just like that's not what a person would do in this situation. Like
Yeah.
people are dying. Why are you nodding your head? Talk. I hate silent protect. I get it because everyone's making your own character, so you don't like they can't do like
No,
a
but
thousand voice lines.
I
But
feel like they explain why your character actually is emotionless for narrative reasons.
Yeah,
There's
but
like there seems to
you
be a
don't-
reason why your main character is like that.
don't you just feel like cutscenes kind of
It
come off a
does,
little awkward
it does,
sometimes?
but like they give a reason as to
Yeah, I
like why
know.
your character is like that.
I'll give you that.
Which
Destiny, they don't.
I don't mind like someone who doesn't speak much, but say something.
It's just awkward when like especially in Destiny cutscenes where they're like all this emotion, your
Yeah.
character's just like,
And then your ghost speaks for you, which
Yeah.
pisses me off.
and like they're talking to you, and then he replies. It's like,
Yep.
But anyways, I mean, it's not like this huge
Yeah.
narrative driven game. The story is second to the gameplay. So, yeah. I guess the last piece. I already
Oh.
said last piece, but I completely forgot that Nick and I were gonna bring up another thing. We're going to
so
Borderlands.
just quickly go over it. So Borderlands 3 review copies have been going out.
Where's ours?
right.
You need to, dude. You're the social media dude. Get on top of that stuff. Give me a media kit. Give me a PR kit. Whatever.
Apparently,
it's
if you have an
Doesn't matter how big we were.
apparently
We
you have
probably
an
wouldn't get
Epic
one.
Game Store like media account, you have access to every game on Epic Game Store for free.
called.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
I mean, I don't care about the games. I just want to review games.
but anyways,
that's what we do here.
so Borderlands 3 review situation is weird because like in normal cases you get a code or a physical copy of the game that you can plug into whatever.
Yep.
And but in this case, 2K is giving you Epic Game Store accounts for a special version of Borderlands 3, but not to every reviewer, to select reviewers.
Interesting.
So
basically, reviewers.
A
that
lot
paid
of
off.
popular review sites that usually get copies from games just got skipped.
yeah,
such
especially
as
like
Kotaku.
European ones aren't getting much.
Damn.
But the thing is, like, the theory is that, like, well, the internet theory is that they're getting special versions of the game is because they're making these games drop better loot consistently for reviewers, so they have a better experience in the game, which is actually something that there's a massive media event with all the streamers, like, sometime in the summer. You guys remember that, right?
I remember that, yeah, because Goth and all them
So
got brought to that.
people were saying that like in the back end systems of that version of the game, people were getting consistently better loot to enjoy and show the game off a lot better. than normal, right?
That kind of stuff just makes
So
me
is you
upset.
saying that like they're giving these guys special game Epic Game Store accounts is to give these people versions of the game that drop better loot consistently?
Because we
Uh,
saw news of them going gold like a month ago. So why would these not just
Nope.
be final products,
Yeah.
right?
So like it's kind of suspicious. It's
Nope.
kind of weird how they're also doing it. Like I don't know if they're getting like console codes at all, but I've heard that they're getting like actual codes like the day before release, which is Thursday.
Yeah.
True.
And another weird thing about these like early builds of the, or not early, but like not finished builds of the game is that I'm pretty sure in the Kotaku article at least it mentioned that they were given like a notice saying that your progress may or may not continue to the main game. So I guess they're like, well, if we change something in the build, it might not be compatible. That's kind of weird
Yeah.
because that means that this build's probably a little further behind than just polish,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, I have no idea.
So again, we're not trying to like jump on and be like, Borderlands sucks, but it's just like that's really weird. And I feel like if it any game we would report on this being like a weird practice, right?
Yeah,
So
just wanted to mention that kind of weird, kind of yeah, just weird.
yeah,
And then PC Gamer goes on and gives it a 63 out of 100. Like PC Gamer is like not a small site. They're not like
other than that, I think it's reviewing really well.
yeah.
I think that's like one of the only negatives, or not super positive, but just weird. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on with the way that game's launched. So
Yeah. That's about it. Remember Extra Life? Donate, 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 donate.
shave his head. I'm pointing to Ethan. You
We
can't
want
So
see
to
we
him.
have a person on our team that none of us know. Hopefully you're a
Yeah,
listener.
I did. The past few years, I've always kept the team open because like we've never had this issue before. People just randomly join.
So hopefully you make the goal.
Yeah.
Whoever is on
If
our
you're
team.
listening,
Yep.
raise money. That'd be awesome.
So
Yeah,
like
you're on our team
I'm
now.
gonna make it invite only next year.
Yeah.
I can change it to like this year to make it invite only, but at this point it's like he's already there.
It's weird that you can't like manage your roster.
I have to look at it again. I have to like because the website's so simple that
Yeah.
maybe it's too
Do
simple.
they have like a ticket thing where you could submit them like a ticket? I mean,
have no-
at that point, do you want to go through all that hassle?
Yeah, I
it's not
just-
like this guy can't like do anything to derail our page
Yeah.
or anything. But
So I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is. Next year I'll make invite only.
yeah. But yeah, if that dude's listening, raise money. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that it? Well, thank you for listening, everyone, to the 3 Can Play podcast. It's been myself, Nick P, and Brad. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at 3 Can Play podcast. And with that, from producer Ethan, myself, and all of us here at 3 Can Play with peace and love, we're out.